Okay, so as the group hauled ass and freed a blue in the face, rather inebriated Lavinia Beldam from her purgatory within the oxygenless pit, they headed eastward toward the next pedestal, whereupon you reached a small dead meadow in the middle of nowhere, along with said pedestal.
Hmm. There's nothing of note around, huh? It's an empty meadow.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Does it look like there's any earth disturbed anywhere where something may have been buried?
Well, one might perceive such things.
Not me.
Not me either.
Wow. Some interesting rolls there, folks. No, I don't. I believe
Take
that
such
neither of
from
you
his
have.
eyes.
Yeah, believe that
Seems to
neither
have
of you
something
have
in them.
spotted any recently disturbed Earth.
My eye is still itchy from casting Hex.
Don't forget that you still have the pushback for cantrips on that thing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
But
because
they
Eldritch
both
Blast
died.
is a cantrip.
Yeah, they both died when I hit them, so there wasn't a need to push them back.
Yeah, I think you forgot last session because you hit plenty of Eldritch Blasts with no pushing.
No, I didn't forget. I just didn't do it.
Okay.
As a primarily touch and melee focused person, I thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't want to push them back.
Maybe we should detect magic on this area. See if anything pops up.
Good idea.
Indeed.
I can't.
Adam, are you sober enough to ritual cast detect magic?
What?
She's probably tipsy by this point. It's been an hour.
Are
Has
you
it-
sober enough to ritual cast detect magic?
Yeah, it takes an hour to get from each pedestal.
I mean, I guess, unfortunately. Do we even know if these are magical?
Nobody's checked.
I thought we did. I thought we knew they were.
Nope, we did not check.
Oh,
Because I would have written that down for sure.
okay. I misremembered then.
Me
I guess
too.
we're about to find out then.
All right, so Lavinia sits down and stumbles through the ritual to cast Detect Magic, having to restart a couple of times, so it ends up taking about 15 minutes instead of 10. Eventually, she gets through it, and her eyes light up even brighter than usual. And in having done so, you see that the pedestal itself is, in fact, magic.
That makes sense.
But there's nothing else around the area.
No, there is nothing within 60 feet of Madame Beldam.
And we've left all the statues on pedestals, so we can't confirm even if they do light up.
So this is a meadow? Is everything dead in this area already?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So it's more of a deado.
How big
God
is
damn
the
it.
meadow?
If you walk across it from one end to the other, it takes you about 120 paces.
I'm looking for any disturbance at all of like
The
the
only
ground for
disturbance
footprints or whatever.
The only disturbance you find is the ones that you yourself create.
Hmm. How
I'd
odd.
like to look at the pedestal itself.
Okay.
Is it identical to the others, or does it not have an impression in it at all?
It has an impression in it.
Hmm.
It's identical to the others. Except the tiger faces northwest.
Can I check the perimeter of the meadow outside of it for tracks?
Sure, roll survival. There are a few game tracks, but that's about it.
Okay. Egg is still blinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes are watery.
Udnar, pick me up and run across the meadow. Maybe I'll pick something up with the detect magic spell.
Will that? I mean, yeah, I'll do that, but will that work? You know what? I don't care if it'll work. Yeah, I'll do that. That's fun.
Okay. You run Madame Beldam around the perimeter of the meadow.
Yep.
I just see her like piggybacking on top of
No,
you.
no, like I imagine he's just holding her out,
Yep.
like holding her by the hips and just holding her with his arms fully extended.
Yeah. Think of it almost like that scene in Titanic, but without
Yes.
like the love behind it and more like this weird like divining rod in front of me.
Yeah, he's got a divining rod of Madame Beldam. Unfortunately, through your entire sweep of the perimeter, you do not incur or you do not discover anything else that's magic other than what you are already carrying.
It seems odd that amongst all this death and decay that this, well, I mean, besides the death and decay here, this area seems untouched.
And I'm gonna vomit when he puts me down.
Okay,
Makes sense.
a nice sickly hork.
It is certainly odd, but apparently it's not because of magic.
Are there magics that either of you two, I would obviously be talking to Pedalid and Beldam, know of that, like, would make it that somebody could come in here, take a thing, and then, like, not leave any track at all?
Pedalin screws up her face, trying to remember. Thinking.
What if someone just floated in? Or like a bird came and swiped it?
I really don't know. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I mean, I've certainly never seen a person float like a bird. Maybe a bird stole it.
You literally,
literally
have.
saw someone
Madame
turn
Beldam
into a
turned
bird.
into a bird.
Oh shit, she did.
Also, chain
But she
levitated.
wasn't a person floating like a bird. She was a bird at that point.
Yeah, but a
Chain
bird
levitated.
Yeah, chain levitated also.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. He had he had like that breeze all the time.
Chain
Also
2.0.
just
Breezy, beautiful.
casted- Yeah.
With these spangly boots.
Okay.
We also don't know how long ago it was taken.
True.
The
Yeah.
tracks
very
could have
true.
just faded.
Mm-hmm. All true.
What do you do?
unlike
Do we want to come back to this one later?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to inspect the trees in the immediate perimeter of the meadow for hollows. To see if there's a hollow where something could have been stashed.
Investigate. Make a perception check. As you're searching for hollows in the trees, you don't turn up anything useful. Perhaps a couple of boreholes from bugs or other parasites, especially as the trees, die off and lose their bark and begin to show the internal damage that they suffered throughout their lifespans. However, you cannot shake the feeling that you are being watched.
I communicate that to the group.
Pedalin saunters back up to the pedestal in the center of the Deado and lets everybody know that she feels as though they're being watched.
Something's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Maybe that something has the statue. I wonder if they're friendly. Probably not.
Hmm. Watched, huh?
I'd like to, I guess, take a minute while she's going to check the trees to guess this.
Okay. Choose your other ability then. Or your other skill.
We will do perception because I'm shit at that.
Okay. So, a living mote of stardust manifests itself from, I imagine, one of Lavinia's cards. Begins to orbit her head.
Madam, you've got a bug flying around your head there.
I don't think that's a bug.
Is it a moon?
It's a new spell from that book, and I'll have it shoot a blast just at the ground nearby.
Woo!
Um, I was trying to find a token to use for you, and I think I may have found the perfect one. Oh, it's already transparent too.
Nice.
Perfect. I'll give you something real later, but for now. Because I need to create the light as well. All right, whenever we get to a point where I have to move you guys onto a map, we'll use that. Okay, so you now have an orbiting thingy. What else are you guys doing?
I want to get an idea of what time of day it is.
Let's see. This is the fourth one, so right around noon.
Noonish? Okay.
The sun is at its zenith or near enough.
While we have light, I would prefer maybe we move on to the creek and check out that snake skin, or what seemed to be a snake skin, in that area.
You guys don't want to do anything else here?
We're being watched. We should... Egg yells out, "Yo! Who's watching us? Show
Who's
yourself."
watching here?
Huh?
Oh, what? What are you hawing?
Sorry. You guys were cutting like in and out. My Discord's being all fucky tonight.
Oh, I was just yelling for the person who's watching us to show
Oh my
themselves.
god, that star.
That's very
The
good.
more you know.
The more you know. Yep.
Beldam got a bad gold star.
All right. So do you guys wait here? What are you doing?
Nothing appeared after Egg yelled at it.
No, I just want to know what you do.
Yeah, I'm trying to have this conversation as well.
We should start digging. Not because I actually think we'll find anything, but just to seem like we're doing something.
I think maybe we come back to this one.
So, you had the feeling that we were being watched. I guess, do I have that feeling now that she's mentioned it? Or was this more when she was on the outskirts looking at stuff? Because
It was when I was on the outskirts.
Mhm.
Yeah, from where you are at the center of the meadow, you don't really detect the presence of anything else.
All right.
We
No,
can
no
go back to the
bird, nor
trees.
insect, nor living creature.
Show me exactly where you had this feeling. I want to take a look around there myself.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I will take him back to the side of the meadow where I was searching in the trees, where I felt the feeling.
Okay. As the group arrives, a venerable old man steps out from behind a tree, probably surprising the lot of you.
Yeah.
He leans heavily on an old gnarled staff. And he just looks at you.
Can we tell what race he is?
He has a beard. He is approximately 5.5 feet tall. He's got old ratty robes that have seen better days. His hair is largely white, though there are flecks of brown within it. And his eyes are a cold, sharp blue.
Good day, sir.
The same eyes that I just described turn to look at you without saying a word.
I'm just watching him intently.
He appears to be doing the same to you.
So, you live here?
What business have you in this place?
We are attempting to restore the Eldrick statuettes and defeat the Blight.
And what purpose would you have in doing that?
We're here to help Eldrick because we need his help.
Intriguing. What could you possibly want his help for?
Why would you care?
Roll something diplomatic if you're trying to pull information out of him. So he'll retort with "Why should I tell you?" And so you're going to attempt to persuade the old man. Pedalin goes on just kind of give me an idea of how you would go about persuading him. Just for flavor. Like, you don't have to give me words or anything, just like the general gist of it.
Oh, well, I'm just kind of trying to persuade him that, we don't mean any harm to anybody. We're just as much concerned with the health of the woods as our own mission.
Okay. Sure. So he lets out a heavy sigh and leans on his staff and says, "Well, it's a story if you've got the time."
I think we have a few moments.
How long have we been here talking to him at this point?
I mean, like a minute.
Oh, if it's been a minute, then I want to know his level and his current hit points.
I'm guessing this is a
If
thing
they're
you
higher
have.
Oh, you know what? I actually did that wrong last time.
Yeah,
I only have to
you're
tell you
just-
if it's equal, equal,
Yes.
superior, or inferior. Level and hit points,
Yes.
superior.
Okay.
We would gladly hear his tale.
Yes, Egg is showing her signs of respect and attitude of respect to this man.
Okay. He bids you to follow him. Is everybody there?
Yeah,
think
I'm just
so.
watching him. Like I just haven't
I don't
said
know.
anything.
I don't know where Lavinia is.
I thought you said the group walked over to the trees.
Well, you never said that you went, so I was leaving you at the pedestal. The
Yeah,
group
sure.
that spoke up.
I'm at the pedestal alone, just
Okay.
kicking some dirt.
All right. Yeah, because the three of them said they went, so that was the group that I was referring to.
All right. I'll call back
so
to Lavinia. Tell her what
Okay.
we're going with this guy.
Hey,
Yo,
we found
Lavinia,
a stranger.
we're going with this guy. Yeah.
Yug.
Just from across the open field. What?
Yep.
I motion for her to follow us in big sweeping gestures so that she can see me.
All right. The elderly man hobbles on his staff for what seems like an eternity to travel such a short distance, but maybe a few hundred yards away, you find a very small personal hut. There is a little black kettle on like a sawhorse style spit roasting over a small fire, and what looks like another equally small wooden table with a couple of stools nearby. In fact, roll survival, everybody. Udinar and Petalin, you swear you walked right through this area yesterday, but there were no such signs of the hut or this old man. But he takes a seat, pulling up one of the stools near the fire, and uses his staff to hook the pot off of the little where it suspended over the fire, and pulls it over the table and begins to pour some tea. Blair, you're pretty sure there were only 2 stools when you first showed up. There are actually 5, and conveniently enough, 5 mugs as well for tea. He invites each of you to have a seat and have a sip.
Lovely. I sit right down and take a cup.
Egg says thank you and takes the cup and sits down.
The
I
tea
sit
itself was rather.
and do not drink it.
Go ahead.
I also
Okay.
do not drink.
I do.
Okay. Egg.
No, I sit down and drink.
Okay. The tea itself was rather bland. I mean, it tastes like tea, but not good. Like it's been burned and oversteeped. And he kind of leans back against the wall of his hut in his stool and says, "Well, what was the question?" You'll forgive an old fool for forgetting.
I forget the question too.
Maybe we can
Out of
begin.
character, I forget the question.
Maybe we can begin with names. I'm Udinar, and you are.
Oh, I've long since forgotten.
Well,
How are
I'm-
you able to live in this forest that's become so blighted?
Says, you know what? You can call me Earl. But to answer your other question, I mean, it's not a happy existence, but it is an existence.
We are looking for a tiger statuette to put on that pedestal. Do you know anything about that?
I might. What do you want it with it?
We want to put it back on the pedestal
And why would you want to do that?
to help remove the blight on the forest.
Is that what you think it does?
Yes?
Udinar, you get the feeling that he really was forgetful It
Oh,
kinda,
that's just kind of a general this whole
Oh.
situation.
well, I'm gonna need multiple rolls. There's no
That's fine.
general insight.
Let's call that the insight of walking in and the introductions and whatever.
Oh, sure. You get the feeling he's being genuine so far.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. What was that peddling? Did you forget again?
I didn't say anything.
I thought you said something.
Not while Udinar was talking.
No, just before.
He asked me why is that what you think it does? And I said yes, question mark.
Okay, yeah, that's what I didn't hear.
Okay.
He says, "Oh, it's much more than that." How
What-
do you not
what-
know that? Are you just blindly walking through this forest and just see fit to place things on other things?
We've had some direction, albeit not the most helpful.
And that would be from the boy.
If by the boy you mean Eldrick, then yes.
We think. Also, we think he was a tiger.
The damned fool. Huh, tiger. Well, good to see that he takes after his old man.
Who is the tiger then, if not Eldrick?
What do you mean? Eldrick is the tiger.
I think he was implying that his old man also likes to be in an animal form or whatever. Maybe.
So what do the statuettes do then?
Why should I tell you that?
We already had this conversation. So that we are concerned about the forest and we're trying to lift the blight.
We're trying to defeat the horse creature that we believe to be causing it. And we believe restoring the statuettes to the pillars will help us do that, maybe.
Now that would be quite a feat. I presume that foolish child took you to where it rests?
Yes, it didn't go very well. We had to run
And
away.
I presume that after witnessing your inability to deal with such a threat, he then instructed you to restore each of his pedestals.
Pretty much.
I was afraid of that. What is it that you want with Eldrick?
We've been sent by one of his companions to request his assistance.
Do you have a name for that companion?
Drills.
The old man smiles in recognition. Well, good to see that my old apprentice is still up and kicking. Now, why would Grills send you to his apprentice, Eldrick? You don't have to answer that question just yet. I'd like to puzzle it out myself. Though I believe I may already have an answer. And I'll tell you now, it's not one that I'm happy with. So, let me ask you this. If you're able to restore each of the pedestals, not that I believe you will, there are one or two that will be quite a challenge. What then? What do you know of the beast that you face?
What we know is that all of us are infected and we don't have much of a choice.
You cut out. I didn't hear the last of the sentence.
Who cut out?
Nobody did. She's having the issue.
What did you not hear, Susanna? Okay, well, you have died.
Apparently.
One sec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I almost want to go in there and fix it myself, but I'll let her do it. Okay, so sorry, I lost my track. Where was I?
I said all of us are infected, so we don't have much
Oh.
of a choice.
I see. Okay. Um,
Okay, what'd I miss?
Madam Beldam. Madam Beldam said that everybody was infected, that you don't have much of a choice in terms of dealing with it, and he was asking if you have any idea what you're up against, like what you're facing.
Not really.
No. Well, that makes 5 of us. I can tell you this much. Uh, for as many years as I have been around, I've never seen anything like it. Though, of course, even with my advanced years and an extended life, even I wasn't around before the Sundering, and I'm sure that creatures just like it may have roamed these very lands. I can tell you this much, it is no natural beast. It is in fact some sort of corrupted monstrosity. It landed here not too long ago, and very quickly turned all of Eldrick's Woods into this, what you see before you.
Can you confirm the belief that dealing with it will help restore this area?
Well, presumably, I'm no all-knowing being myself. What I do know is that it appeared, then the forest became this way, and that is the way it is. And despite anybody's best efforts, it has thus remained so as long as it has.
So you don't know how to defeat it.
I wouldn't dare try. I'm knocking on death's door myself, and I'm sure you've seen what becomes of the dead around here. I'd much rather not.
Why haven't you left the woods?
I don't know that you've earned that answer.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
Do you
Speaking of
have the
undead,
statue?
Is
Let's go one at a time. Madam Beldam?
Speaking of the undead, do you know what happened with the Death Singer, or knew of him?
I know of him, yes. Never met him. Never had direct dealings with him. Um, the world is a dangerous place. His passing is sorely noted. It is particularly frustrating for somebody like me, because if I were to die, I know that I will not be sung to sleep. And let me tell you, I have no fancy of wandering around, moaning and acting out like some sort of play. Just going through the motions. No say in it.
there any reason you can give us that would persuade us not to put the statuettes back?
If you value Eldrick's life.
How would restoring the statuettes put him in danger?
See, this just leads us right back to, do you know what those things are? Are you factors?
Yes?
Are you familiar with relics and wards?
I should say so.
Have you inspected or investigated any of the objects you are claiming to want to restore or return to their rightful place?
You know, we probably should have.
I
But
thought we had.
we mostly took Eldrick at his word. Well, nod.
Mm. Right. I suppose I will grant you this one boon, but then I must surely scurry you off to foolishly complete whatever quest you're after now. But those are wards created by Eldrick from his own magic, from his own life magic. Everyone that is active and in place takes a little more from him for as long as it is active and in place. Now, that being said, I've no doubt that the boy has put great care and effort into ensuring that they will have the intended purpose, though what that is, I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Because we haven't earned that information, or because you don't know?
I don't know.
It's not popping up. Just give it a second. There it is.
You get the feeling that he is not telling you the whole truth.
Well, you've given us a lot to ponder currently. What do you know of Spira?
Nothing. Be on your way.
Kind of what I thought would happen. Okay.
What is that for, Petalin?
Is he lying about Spira?
Oh, I mean, I didn't think
it's
that was unclear.
It's obvious that I struck a nerve, and he knows our plan, or
Yeah.
he knows something about it for sure.
Well,
I'll graciously.
could you tell us
start
anything
leaving.
about Spira? We really don't know anything about it.
You need to leave.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I've already started walking away when he said that.
Mm.
I'll just say thank you for your time.
All right.
I'll just say that I'm out the door. So whatever you guys do,
Okay.
I'm not there.
I'm gonna say your tea is oversteeped, and then I'm gonna leave.
You were never inside the hut. You were always outside of it.
Okay. I'm out of earshot then, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're leaving then.
Okay.
Actually, Egg is gonna make one last plea, just
Mhm.
so that we're with him, just because he knows we don't know what we're doing, and before we blindly go into something, do something that would be a mistake, any information to point us in a better direction would be well appreciated. It's kind
The
of
best direction that you can head is the one that is furthest from here and from Eldrick. And should you run into Grills again, tell him he's a fool. And that his master hasn't forgiven him.
And okay, do you know the reason we're stuck on this though is we are infected with this blight? Do you know of any way we could help ourselves?
In the middle of your sentence, he walks into his hut and closes the door.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to roll that to try to, like, maybe picture in my head where we are and mark it down
Okay.
on my little map.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's accurate, I don't know, obviously.
Sure. You do your best to make a mark of the location.
Also, we were here and this hut wasn't here before, so I doubt we'll ever find it again without him wanting us to find it.
I
Well,
would
only-
agree.
Only Noodles and Petalin knew that.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Ignore me then.
Ignore me. Okay. Next, what are we doing?
Oh, we didn't get the statue for this pedestal. And
If he has one, we're not gonna get it.
nope.
Also, it sounds like by accomplishing our goal, we are probably going to relieve Eldrick of his earthly duties.
Mm-hmm.
Which puts us in quite a predicament because that's the only reason we're here.
Or maybe fulfill them if that's what he's here for, is to just ward these woods. Who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be doing a great job of protecting them at the moment, I'll say.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of the only lead we have, and we can't do anything if this blade overtakes us. So I'm of the opinion we continue on.
Yeah.
If we save the forest and can't bring back Spira, at least we'll have done some good because, I mean, we don't know anything about Spira at the end of the day. And so we don't know whether bringing it back would be a good idea or not. But curing these woods is a good idea. Because this corruption is just going to spread to treetop eventually. So I'm also of the opinion that we continue.
Okay. So unless
Where
anyone
to?
opposes, I guess we go to the creek with the snakeskin.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so with the new info that we have, we're not even sure that doing this would assist in any way with that
Well.
horse.
True.
Should we be having a conversation with Eldrick?
I
He
mean,
clearly hasn't
So he
been-
can yawn and nod or shake his head at us?
shrug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If anything, I'd like to talk to Grills at this point.
Well, if the pedestals just require relics, we could put different magical objects on them.
Hmm.
Worth trying.
But if they were crafted for this specific case, there's no guarantee that would work.
Well, it doesn't hurt
I
to
mean-
try.
Yeah. If we put a
Um,
relic on the pedestal, it doesn't do anything. We can just take it back.
Yeah.
Right, but even if it does, we don't know if it'll have the same intended effect for what it was built for.
We don't even know what the effect that it was built for was.
We do know it will kill Eldrick.
I mean, I assume it's to ward.
If he was a fool enough to make stuff with his own life force, then he would know that it could kill him. And he was the one that set us on this path.
Perhaps we should return to the Eldrick's enclave there and see if we can find any more information.
Maybe now that we've met Earl, Eldrick will be a little bit more forthcoming.
Yeah, or less, depending on, I guess, what their
Yeah.
relationship is.
We could just piss off the tiger and stop
He's
helping us
not
at
gonna
all.
attack us.
Why not?
He's
Yeah, why
wounded
not?
and it's 4 against 1.
Okay,
All right, so we're
maybe
gonna
we
go
should
talk
just
to
regroup.
Eldrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, okay? So, rather than travel 2 hours to the area with the snakeskin, we'll go ahead and head back to the shrine. So an hour
Yes.
later, we'll arrive.
Of course he's not here.
And Eldrick is missing.
Do any of the pillars look any different?
You want to go inspect them?
Yeah. Do you just want me to do an investigation?
Here, have a guidance boop before you do that.
Investigation is fine.
Okay. And then guidance.
Yes. The crystals or the pillars have changed slightly. 3 of them now have a small glowing etch rune set on them.
I pointed out.
Okay. Yeah.
Do these runes look familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Did that wrong. Not this one.
Well, something's working.
This one. There.
All right. Well,
Back to the creek with the snake skin.
I'm going to investigate the area looking for tiger tracks,
You spot a few.
like fresh ones.
Survival.
Oh, okay.
You can't tell.
There's too many tracks. Can't find out which way he may have went.
Say we do go to these other pillars and do by some chance manage to find them, we will still be short one.
What do you mean? Oh, the meadow one.
And we could possibly use a relic on it. That might work. It might not.
I mean, as far as we know, the factor that we got the other one from may have taken that one from the meadow. And in the cave with the spider is the one for that one. We don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Has my character met Grills?
I don't know. Did you meet girls? No, you
I don't
didn't meet
think I
them.
did.
No, you did
I'm
not.
gonna ask the rest of the group if there's any way for them to get in touch with this Grills, because I think it's time he gives us some more information.
We have no idea where he is or how to find him. Short of going all the way back to Red Shore and asking somebody to help lead us there again, which they're probably not going to be very, eager to do.
Especially since we
But-
will likely be dead and shambling by that point.
Also that, yes.
Okay. I still remember that dead guy a while back that we spoke to saying beware of a snake, and that snake skin kind of reminded me of that too. I kind of want to check this creek area out, just in general anyway. Unless somebody else has like a lead that is more concrete.
You're talking about the dead guy in the woods who said the bit about the creek side, yeah?
Yes, same
Okay.
duo.
Yep, I'm all for doing the creek and the snake.
I'm kind of
Let's
at a
do it.
loss of what else to do. And I feel like we're just wasting daylight by not at least doing something.
Yep, I say we continue.
You're 5 hours in now. And so you're gonna head. Well, I mean, from here, you don't know how to get there, so give me survival.
I might remember the way. Not sure.
I think Egg and Noodles both feel as though they might be able to make their way back to the creek with the giant snake skin. They let the rest of the group know that it is off to the northeast.
Well, let's shake a tail feather.
Let's do it.
Indeed.
Here. It takes a little bit longer, maybe an hour and a half, since you're going direct by a way you haven't before, but you do arrive by way of foot.
Okay.
Susanna, you're breathing in the mic. And remember, this pedestal is broken.
I'm gonna investigate the snake skin, see if there's anything about it that might jog something in my memory about hearing or having seen something like this.
Okay. Looks like a snake skin, and you know that sometimes snakes shed their skin.
So the snake should now be bigger than this.
By at least 1 unit.
It depends on how many apples it's had.
True. Hmm.
I would like to go check out the pedestal.
Okay.
I'll go with her.
Madam Beldam and Pedalin both go look at the broken pedestal.
I'd like to look at the extent of the damage and like if the pieces of it are laying around somewhere nearby.
There are a couple of pieces of it laying at the base of the pedestal itself, but the largest portion and the top are cleanly missing. Pedalin, you know what? Give me a nature check, actually. Okay.
Are there signs on the stone that we could see that would maybe tell us if it was cleaved off by accident or maybe intentionally removed?
I have no idea how you would know that without maybe being a stonemason.
My uncle was a rock gnome.
Well, I'm very happy for your uncle, but
Egg is gonna sweep the area for any signs of tracks. Just anything, any clue.
Give me survival. It's hard to miss, but somehow you nearly do. There, from where the snakeskin is, you can see a pretty clear impression where something appears to have slithered off.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this boulder?
You mean tall?
Overall
Or
girth.
it's 10 feet tall. So like it's like a 10-foot cube, but irregular.
While we're putzing around in this area, I want to set up the giant's wallet to contain it.
Okay. There.
Nice.
I point out the snake tracks to the group. If we want to follow the snake, that's the way. I didn't see any other clues here.
I'm not overly keen at the idea of following a giant snake.
Madam, you may want to ritual cast Detect Magic again to see if this pedestal is even still working.
I mean, I can do that. Do we have the time to dilly-dally here?
Do we not have 10 minutes? It'll take us 10 minutes to decide where to go next.
Fair.
Suppose you're right.
So we had one vote for following the tracks.
It wasn't really a vote.
Or
It was more of a
the suggestion.
pointing out a possibility.
Suppose I'm more like right here
Yeah,
after looking at this skin.
over here.
Udinor, make a nature check.
Okay.
I mean, basically anybody who's checking out the snake skin can make a nature check. So I guess Ed
Yep.
can as well.
I'm hanging out.
All right. Udinor, being a man who communes with nature on occasion, or rather at least communes with something that communes with nature on occasion, the immediately apparent thing to you, other than the rather enlarged size of this particular snake, is that there are a few signs that it was belabored in its travel. In fact, as you're looking at the shed skin, you can see that there is a rupture in the skin, like down the belly as well as the back, or as well as like where it was shed. They don't molt like crabs so much as they pull themselves out of the skin. And even within the tracks, actually, what that'll do is I'll let you make an advantaged or survival check. Looking at its tracks. So while looking at its tracks, you're able to spot that there is actually some blood as well that has seeped into the soil, and it is only a few days old.
Interesting. I'll just make note of it for now, and then when we all regroup and are together, I'll just share that information so you can all pretend that you know it as well. So. Okay. I'm not eager to fight a giant snake if possible, but it seems like if we had to kill it, it might be a little weaker than normal, which is a plus side.
What would be the advantage to going after the snake?
That's kind of what I'm wondering too.
Like, what would be the purpose?
Maybe the snake ate the thing. Maybe it was injured by someone who took it, whose tracks we didn't see.
Hmm.
Huh.
Who might be there.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it ate the top of the pedestal. I don't know.
Well, we could always have the madam drop her giant boulder on it.
Yep, it's true.
That's a plan.
So,
Yeah, what
What are
was
we
the
doing?
other option besides do the snake thing?
I mean, move on to a different pedestal.
I mean, we haven't really searched this area for
Yeah.
the statuette, so we might take a minute and do that. Madam, did you end up casting detect magic?
I'm waiting for 10 minutes to pass.
Okay.
oh, okay. Well, then 10 minutes passes. You detect magic, and you can see that the pedestal does. It appears to be inert.
That's what I figured. So even if we found the statuette in this area, we wouldn't be able to restore this ward, basically. That being said, I'll still take a few minutes to investigate around the area, looking in the tree hollows again and different things, see if, maybe anything's hidden. Looking for the statuette.
Okay. Find no such thing.
I'd like to detective vision around the pond and see if anything pings under the water.
A good idea, but no. So what's the plan?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out too, because like, let's talk this through a little bit. Out of character, like I kind of do
Yeah.
want to fight the snake, but in character, there's no reason why I would, is the thing. So like, I don't think we should necessarily, because like you're right. Why would we go fight a giant snake if we're looking for figurines? And like Udinar wouldn't exactly be looking to like kill something. So
Well, it's just that my concern is that we're having a really tough time healing as long as we're here, and as long as we're blinded.
sure.
And so going and looking for trouble, you
No,
got to
I'm
be a little
totally
bit more
with you.
cautious. But
Frankly,
just
I
like,
want more info. I want to find somebody to get more info from. That's like the thing I
Yeah.
want right now, more than anything.
for sure, I agree.
We're at a bit of a standstill as well because we have one figure we're not even sure where to begin with, and we have a pedestal that we can't put a figure on, even if we do find one.
And based on what Earl said, even if we do restore all the figurines, we don't even know if that's going to help us fix the blight at all.
So I do have a weird roundabout way to like get this pedestal up and running, and we can discuss all that later if that even becomes a thing. But you're right. We need to reconsider maybe this figurine thing as our only means right now, and maybe look for another solution or path here. Like, I think we can rule out just attacking this death horse is going to get us killed, right? Like at this point.
For sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so let's rule that out completely. We could try looking for Eldrick to find more information. Whether or not he's willing to give any or even knows about some of the stuff we might want to ask is another thing.
Shrugs and stares, man.
Yeah, exactly. Worked for Jim in the office.
Part of the
so-
reason we're in the dark is because he's not a very good source of information. I mean, he wandered us right into that friggin' horse.
And Earl
be
knew
fair,
that was what he
we
was going to
asked for
do
it.
to us.
Yeah.
We did ask for it.
We got a bit above our station there.
Yeah. He does seem like he legitimately maybe only cares about protecting these woods to the point where his existence is going to be wiped out to do it, and he's okay with it.
With the issue there being that our goal was to find him in order to help. So one way or another, we're failing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You know, I'm wondering. I just had a thought, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but you know, Treetop kept saying over and over again that their central ward was really powerful, right?
Oh,
What if it was one of these statuettes? The one that's missing from the meadow.
I mean, if these statuettes are that powerful, I doubt it.
I mean, they're powerful enough to fight this blight, aren't they? We've seen that
I mean,
firsthand.
one isn't. We need 7 of them? 7 of them.
Well, one is strong enough to fight the blight in its area, I guess is what I mean.
It grew some sprouts. It didn't, like, banish it.
Hmm.
we also didn't stay for like a full day or anything with one of them on.
That's true.
We
But
also haven't
presumably
tried
it
grouping them
slowly
together.
is draining Eldric's life to restore the forest. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit on what I said before. I think it might be a better idea to take them off the pedestals and keep them until we have more information, because we run the risk of A, them being lost or like taken or whatever, or B, Eldrick dying.
Eldric dying before we're dinking around.
Before we're ready
Yeah.
for him to die.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Before he's ready to die for his
Mm.
purpose.
So
The other
I
issue
don't have
is
a
we're
problem with
kinda
Eldrick dying if
stuck
that's
here,
what
too.
he's into, but if that's his goal, because he hasn't really protected this forest as much as he wanted to anyway. So
what was that, Rumble?
I said we're sort of stuck in these woods too because we are infected.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess more importantly, I just want to have the conversation of we maybe should start looking at other paths.
like what? I
Like
just don't
going
see
to-
another path.
Like going to those woods that he said, like, don't go beyond there, and seeing what that is. Because we know what he wants. He wants to protect this area and possibly die for it. So I kind of
Right.
don't care what he wants anymore. I want information.
I agree.
Mainly because I'm going to fucking die if we don't find this out.
Well, we all are.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I would like to see at least scout out up north where he said don't go beyond this point, and then just
Yep.
get an idea of what that is.
Okay. So you want to head back to the wood wall?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
Do
I
we
do.
want to collect the statuettes first?
Yeah, that might be a good idea, and at least like put them somewhere safe. This is gonna
Put
take
them
like
in
the
the
rest of
hole.
our day as well. I'm
Well,
kind of
that's
okay
fine,
with
'cause
that.
then we can rest at the shrine again and get a good start in the morning.
So we're not doing anything here?
Well,
Not right now.
here's an option.
What's up?
Size-wise, Petalin still classifies as medium, right?
Yes. I think so. Wait.
I think small.
Yeah, what's in your character sheet?
Let me see. Size. Where's size?
Sorry, what race are you again?
I'm a half elf, half gnome.
He's half elf, half gnome.
No, okay. Gnomes themselves are considered small.
Mm-hmm.
But she's bigger than a gnome.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm technically on the upper end of the height scale for gnomes.
So gnomes are
Is it not on your
between.
character sheet?
There's no space for size on the character sheet.
Yeah, there is under bio.
What? Under
Small.
bio.
Yep.
Oh, sure enough.
She's-
Size small. Yep.
So, theory, I could turn giant eagle, which was classified as large. And couldn't I technically give Petalin a lift?
To go and get the statuettes?
Because I don't exactly have hands as an eagle.
I kind of like this idea.
I'm kind of not
Just don't
against
get
it
shot.
either.
It would save us some time.
Just don't get shot.
Do we want to say that me and Egg will regroup with you guys at the shrine then? And you guys can do that?
Well, here's something that I'm wondering.
Mhm.
What if we regrouped at one of the pedestals where the statuette was, so we can observe what the changes have been,
Okay.
and if it's combating the infection, maybe we camp there and see if that has any positive effects on you guys.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Mhm.
Like, and maybe it's nothing, maybe it won't help, but it's an option.
Won't exactly hurt, I don't think either, because we're gonna need to sleep at some point.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'll hurt no one but Eldrick.
Yeah, and nobody
And if we
cares
only
about him
and if
anyway.
we only leave if we take the other two off
Yeah.
and we leave one on and stay next to it and see what it does, then
Well,
Sure.
which pedestal then? We obviously would want to collect Spider Town, so we don't want to camp there.
Yeah, no, not Spider Town.
I mean, we've already camped near the farmhouse once, the one near there.
Okay.
yeah, we
Sure.
may as well do the farmhouse because those knolls had to come from somewhere too for that other space. So
Sure.
All right.
The-
So my understanding is that we're not doing anything here.
Yeah.
You guys are going to go collect all of the statuettes except for the one at the farmhouse, and you're going to go camp out next to the farmhouse.
we're gonna
Mhm.
camp out next to the pedestal next to the farmhouse.
Okay. So while Lavinia and Petalin are doing that, what are Udinar and Egg going to do?
I suppose we're just walking to the farmhouse.
Yep.
Because it's
That'll
going
be
to take
about
us
2
much
then.
longer while they're flying. We have to
It's
walk.
going to take you a couple of hours.
Yeah. What time is it roughly? Like what part of the day?
This is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Should be
6,
about mid-afternoon.
8 hours after 8, so
About 4.
about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Take us a couple hours. Egg and I could maybe scout the north. That wall while you guys do it, and then we'll all regroup at some point. Unless Egg is against that idea. Because I'm not going alone, is the thing.
Well, here's the other thing too. If you're gonna scout, you need to be stealthy.
Yeah, we're the
And
most stealthy.
Lavinia is the one that can cast invisibility, and I'm the one with the boots of Elvenkind. So
We're not exactly scout material.
No.
I mean, y'all could go back to the shrine and see if Eldrick has come back, and then go to the pedestal.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go see if Eldrick is back, and then go to the pedestal. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Also, I'm going to use second wind on myself now that my healers are gone.
Okay. All right. So
So I gain half
Pedal-
that.
yes, Pedalin and Lavinia are unmolested in their retrieval of these statuettes. That would have been a funny way to go about handling it. Sorry, I just had a thought. And Udinar and Egg, as you head back to the shrine, will find Eldrick lying at his post. I typed in Eldrick instead of Tiger to pull up this, and it did not work.
Like they did it. He was very tiny, hiding underneath his statue, and
Clearly.
then stepped out from under it.
He is awake though. He's not sleeping or anything.
He appears to be awake. He's sitting there watching you as you approach.
Okay.
Does he look okay? Or as okay as he always does?
I mean, he looks about the same as he did this morning.
Hmm.
So I guess
Well-
walking up, I'll just start the conversation by saying, you weren't going to tell us that it drains your life, huh?
Yeah. Kind of looks at you coolly.
We had a discussion. Does the name Earl ring a bell?
You can roll insight.
Okay.
No, the blank expression he gives you, Udinar, you're pretty sure that he's just it had no effect. Egg, however, you noticed a very small twitch, like almost imperceptible, but just happened to catch it. So there's some recognition there, but he's trying not to show it.
It's hard to read cats, so. Sense.
I like cup my hand to Udinar's ear and say he knows. Whisper it.
I'm going to talk to him, like, calmly and just say, listen, we need more information because we are getting conflicting. We're getting conflicting information. We spoke to Earl, and this all seems like a bad idea, especially if you want to continue living.
He flops over on his side. Sighs.
You don't care if you live or die?
Stands up and looks at you. And like he just looks at you.
How are you to protect these woods if you were gone?
Shakes his head no.
You are not going to protect these woods.
Shakes his head no.
This plan with the pillars, or the pedestals, is it even accomplishable? Because one of them is completely broken.
He nods.
This would be so much easier if you could talk, you know?
He nods. He looks at the pillars and then looks at you.
Do the pillars only work with the statuettes?
He nods.
The meadow you showed us that was empty, besides the pedestal, of course. There was no signs of any molestation of the area. We don't even
He
know where to
nods.
begin to find the figure or the figurine for that area. Was it
He
stolen?
shrugs. He nods.
We may have reason to believe either Earl or Treetop has one of the figurines.
It's not a question.
Yep.
The cat continues looking at you.
Do you know if Treetop has the statue?
He shakes his head.
Do you believe they have a statue?
He shakes his head no.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Do you
their
believe
relic?
Earl has one.
I'm sorry, that was two people at once.
Have you seen the relic they used to ward their city?
He roars, leaps off the platform, and just gets real close, like his hackles are up, and is glaring at you.
That's not exactly an answer.
You may feel a bit uneasy as he is pacing back and forth in front of you, just like giving you a death stare.
Are you mad because we asked about it or because of what it is?
He roars again.
I'm just gonna do this for myself. Okay.
So you're gonna try and persuade him to calm down?
Yep. So I'll give you a
Okay.
persuade here.
Sure. I thought that's what that was.
No, I was just seeing that for myself to see if I was shook.
Oh.
Because I couldn't tell in character
Then
if
I would
that
roll
would be.
I would roll intimidate for that.
Well, I was saving against his roar in my head, you know?
Oh, well then let me roll
Oh.
intimidate.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I would say you probably feel quite uneasy, but maybe not shaken.
Sure. That's probably fair.
Like now that it's just you and Egg here, and this is a big fucking tiger, and he's clearly unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But as you attempt to persuade him to calm down, he boogies on out. He just like you try to calm him, and he's having none of it, and he just like bounds off into the woods, off to the northwest.
I'm going to look at Egg and say, I think that went well.
Had a knack for pissing people off today, Udanar.
I think we follow him. I'm just going to look at like my bite that's like gross and decaying and just say, I still want my fucking answers. We're like, he's starting to not care because he's going to die, probably. We need to find stuff out. So I'm going to ask Egg if he would be willing to follow where he went to the northwest specifically. Not like track him, but like go the direction he went.
You just gonna head off to the northwest?
I guess like
Why not at least try to track him?
yeah.
You would need to try to track him, otherwise you're just heading in a random
lost him.
direction.
Yeah. We can try to track him, but beyond that, I think we should just head to regroup with the others.
I'll start by just like seeing where he bounded off and seeing if I could find a trail at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as it turns out, a tiger that doesn't want to be followed is very good at making sure that they aren't.
Go figure.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Let's meet up
I
with
think
the
we
others.
should go. Yeah, go meet up with them.
So, Lavinia and Petalin, you have been near the pedestal for probably about an hour and a half before the other two show up. So you've had plenty of time to set camp up. If you had any girl talk or anything like that, you had plenty of time to do so. But otherwise, they will eventually arrive. You still have about a quarter of a day before you guys can even benefit from a long rest.
Are there any changes that we can see at any of the 3 sites other than what we've already seen? Like, has it improved at all?
Oh, and I guess actually, hold on, the pedestals would have deactivated when you guys took them off. Uncolor them. What do you mean? I mean, it looks the same as it was whenever you left it.
So there hasn't been any marked improvement since the morning.
No.
I'm guessing that means that neither of you two had anything else until we arrive.
Just like trying to think through what the hell we can even do. We don't have many avenues that we can follow.
Okay, I'm going to say that we arrive and I'll let you know about our talk with Eldrick. And how he was particularly upset about speaking about the relic of Treetop.
Upset how? Like, upset that you mentioned it? Or, like, he didn't approve of their relic? Or...
He had a tantrum and stormed off before we could find any more information.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also, seemed like he might know this Earl character and might not enjoy him necessarily. We're not exactly sure. He recognized the name, we figure. Best we
He
could
was
read anyway.
Trying not to show it, though. He had a very slight tell.
So, it seems like we have some competing ideologies going on here, and neither side are showing their hand with information.
Yep. So we're left in the middle with
Which basically means
no
if we
idea
don't
what to
do anything, we are going to die. So, I guess we're going to have to just figure it out.
Yeah, and it's not like Earl gave us a thing to do. He was just like, you should just not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically that's not true. He did say that we should just leave. Have we considered the possibility that if we just leave the forest, then maybe the blight will go away on its own?
Do you remember all the plagued people we saw at Treetop?
We didn't see any plagued people at Treetop. All we
Oh, we
have is
heard
the
about them.
word of the elders that the elders couldn't heal whatever this was.
Were there no plagued people when we went to go check out the infirmary? I don't actually remember.
I thought there were.
Yeah,
There
I'm
should have
pretty
been.
sure there were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go to the infirmary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I would just correct you at that point, I guess, when you say that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I wouldn't have mentioned it either. Until this point. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did it go with the relics? Doesn't seem like there's much of an improvement after about half a day.
Nope. But now we have them. We can investigate them. Check them out.
I guess something I didn't ask you, Wolf, back a long time ago, at the beginning of the session almost. When I was inspecting the corpses of the children and the cut down couple that Beldam grabbed the note from, were there signs of blight on their bodies?
No, there were not.
We need to find that priest, whoever did that ritual.
I thought we did find a dead priest.
Yeah. We found a dead priest.
You don't think that that priest was the priest?
Hard to
As
tell.
far as I've seen, not a whole heck of a lot of priests running around.
Hard to tell. Seems almost unlikely considering he carried the mark of a god not associated with death and ritualistic death necessarily.
No, but you
yeah.
would also know that the domain is nature, so
Yeah, that's true. Let's see.
All right. So, what are our options from here? 1. We go to the wood wall and see what it is that Eldrick didn't want us to see.
Mm-hmm.
2. Fighting the horse is not an option. 3.
That's not worth mentioning.
If we want to
Leaving
speed
the
up our
forest is not
death,
an option. Leaving the forest is not an option.
We could go fight the snake.
you guys could have tracked the snake.
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, we could track the snake.
Could have.
Uh-huh.
You had an opportunity to do so.
It's now another day. Snake is probably gone and no longer injured in the same way it was. Has had time to heal,
Nothing's healing out here.
That's true. It is probably infected with the blight. Probably.
It'll be infected in
Unless
the
it's
exact
magic.
same way that it was.
Doesn't
near
mean
the
it can't
farm, right?
recover a little bit.
Yes, you're near the farm.
Okay. I'm going to try one thing out here.
Option 4, I guess.
Yeah, this is...
We try to
Sorry.
go back to the logging camp and see if we can find out anything else, or maybe they have a statuette hidden there or something.
Mm-hmm.
Plan Z. We have this Afridi in a bottle.
Oh shit. I forgot about that.
Mm.
You want to just use him to try and cure our blight?
And then get the fuck out
And
of
then
here.
leave? Is that what you're
hell,
saying?
why not just have it send the horse away? Or kill it or something.
I have a feeling that if I focused a lot of energy and a little bit of time, I might be able to get one question to my deity, but what would that question be?
How specific does it need to be?
Well, the gods will answer the way they answer. So we could ask anything and take heed in the advice. So it should be probably as specific as we need
Yeah.
it to be.
The two questions I can see is, well, one of them is, should we continue to attempt to help Eldrick? That's a question we could ask.
Yeah, but that still leaves us as to how.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's not the most practical question.
I found it easier to get guidance when we can confirm or deny the path we're currently on is one worth taking. So maybe the question should be, should we continue the path of the figurines?
Well, you're the one who speaks to the gods, so I guess you would know.
Okay, I'm gonna... How far is the farm from the pedestal area?
Couple 100 yards.
Okay, I'm gonna walk there just alone and like kind of set up where it just feels the holiest place with like the bodies and the ritual and stuff and more at peace, seemingly.
Sure. Sure.
Not that that's hard. We've encountered a lot of bullshit in this area, so basically, well, this is what I'm doing. Just mechanically.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and just set up probably like near the well, I guess, and just kind of sit there. And I'm going to try to push through this barrier, whatever is like making it hard to concentrate on the presence of the gods or my deity. And I'm just going to try to push out basically like a beacon, one question and get one answer of
Sure.
this path we follow of helping Eldrick with the reclamation of the pedestals to defeat the unicorn thing, to defeat the death horse. Are we on the right path or should we look elsewhere?
The reply is very, very faint. Like almost difficult to even feel. But what you get is that the beast was cast from the heavens. It is corrupt, and Eldrick seeks to uncorrupt it.
Okay, I'll open my eyes and walk back to the group. And then I'll just tell them we are to help Eldrick. So we must find him and find more information on how we can do so.
Do we need to? So I guess we put the statuettes back, or do we keep them?
I think we should keep them till we're ready to use all of them for now.
Yep, I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So in the morning, do you want to go find Eldrick, or do you want to go to the wood wall and see what's there?
I don't... Eldrick is not helpful.
I agree. I think we should go to the wood wall.
Yep.
Or go and track the snake, whichever.
More information, I think, is necessary either way. And if we're not going to get it from Eldrick, or if he's going to play coy, then maybe we'll have to see it with our own eyes and find it ourselves.
Okay. So it sounds like first thing in the morning heading to the wood wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Do you guys have all 3 statuettes?
Yes.
2 and 1 is still on the pedestal.
Okay. So you are leaving one on the pedestal.
Well, we're gonna take it with us in the morning, but
Sure.
I think we wanted to see what the effects were over a longer period of time, and so we're just gonna leave it for the one night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to do anything.
Yep, I'm with you,
Particularly
but
after.
we'll see.
All right. I'll go ahead and let time pass in the hopes that we will get through this session and reach a conclusive end before we run out of time. So let's just run through the rest. It's a long rest, and let's see. One more. Okay. Nothing bad happens
Okay.
by the skin of your teeth.
Oh, great.
All right.
So we get
so
those of us who are infected get to heal 2 hit die again,
yes.
or less. Okay.
And it is 2 hit dice because you will notice that your wounds do not progress at all through the night or even as you wake up.
Hmm.
You are exactly as infected when you went to sleep, or you're exactly as infected now as you were when you went to sleep.
Leads me to believe that it kind of like held it at bay when we were in the vicinity of the ward.
Hmm.
I'm saying this in character as well. Well, something similar.
That's kind of what I was thinking, or rather hoping it would do.
Mm-hmm.
It being a ward and all.
We should make this a habit then. For when we have to long
Camp.
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have had the time to study the
Mhm.
statues to
Mhm.
Okay.
see what the fuck they do.
All right. So, do any of the spellcasters have experience in character with wards?
I do.
Okay. Then I suppose you would be the one who would know that these are in fact a type of ward. They are designed with a very specific purpose to which only the creator knows. And they're basically highly highly specific and specialized wards.
I'm just writing that
In
down.
fact, give me an Arcana check as well. And
Can I have advantage for having worked with wards?
No, but Lavinia can assist you. Well, actually, assistance just does give advantage now. So yeah, roll with advantage. The wards that are created here were made using somebody's life, like their life source.
So I'll share that with the group with the implication that everything that Earl told us was pretty much true about these statuettes.
That may be why Eldrick stuck in tiger form. It was when he created these statues. It could have been a side effect. Possibly.
Possibly.
Interesting.
All right, so we take the third one with us now that it's morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, I do change one of my spells through the long rest, so I'll do that now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a pain in the ass, and I probably would have tried to go through the book deeper.
That's fine.
How many Arcana rolls?
Well, roll me your first one. See if you get into the book.
Do I still have my
When did you cast that?
closer to midday?
Yeah, I'll give it to you at the very tail end. Pedalin, you can fully heal. You're not
know.
You're not infected. Oh, why'd you roll a hit die then?
Oh, I thought I had to.
No, you're not infected.
Okay. Bleep bloop.
It's a long rest, not a short rest.
Long rest,
Mhm.
not a short rest.
Okay. Madam Beldam, so you're able to dig into the book. So give me one more Arcana check. Oh, that's quite good. Okay, so I'm gonna give you. Oh, I'll just show you what I'm gonna give you. What's the last one I gave you?
Stardust.
Okay. This will complete 4th level. That. And I'll show everybody else in there. All right. And so if you want to go ahead and make your copy rolls, you can do that now. Well, actually, no, because you'll need to do that when you're copying them, because if it'll determine whether or not you have the companion or not.
Would I have time to even try and copy?
How long does it take? 1 hour per spell level?
No, it's just 2 hours.
Oh, just 2 hours? Then no. You've got like an hour. Well, actually, you know what? You guys were setting up camp for a while, so sure, you can try to copy one of them. Yeah.
It's getting fucking pricey though.
Okay. So, no dreams, only tears. Nothing else happened. Follower was not seen through the night.
It's because I didn't feed him.
Or he's dead. One of the two.
One or the two.
Why would he be dead? We didn't fight
Oh.
anything yesterday.
Because life and death happens.
Maybe he's hanging out with Eldrick.
Maybe.
Maybe he can get some answers from him.
Probably better than we can anyway.
No doubt.
Okay. So it's morning. You guys are gonna head north to the wood wall.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Taking the third ward statuette with us.
Also,
So
before we leave, I want to attempt to put the bonsai bush on the pillar and just see if it does anything at all.
It does sit there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I need survival checks to see if you guys know how to get to the wood wall from here.
Oh, shit.
Petalin remembers.
Follow
As
me,
do
guys.
Udenor and Madame Beldam. All right. So the
Egg
only person who
Joseph
can't
Blake.
remember is Egg.
Mm-hmm.
So Egg, lagging behind the group, notices a couple of times on your way toward the wood wall that there is a small trail that goes ahead of the group slightly and then stops, or under the ground. So like a follower. So it goes along, gets ahead of the group, and then stops, and then goes along, gets ahead of the group, and then stops until they pass it. It's kind of sluggish. But after about an hour, the group does reach the familiar signs of the wood wall.
Okay,
Alright.
so if we're scouting ahead, I would suggest that we do kind of like we did before the Knoll fight, where it's invisibility on me with the stealth boots.
Go for it.
If it's safe,
Okay.
I'll come and report back.
And if
If
it's
not-
not,
Listen for me screaming.
is there any better system than possibly hearing your final breath?
Not that I can think of.
We tie a rope to her and then pull on it.
Not a bad idea.
That would be much less
Except-
stealthy, though.
That kind of, yeah, eliminates the need for invisibility.
Uh-huh.
I think we should have a time limit before we go in to look for you.
But if I get killed without being able to warn you, you'll be walking into a trap.
Right, but you'd be dead, so you wouldn't be able to warn
If
us
I'm
anyway.
if I'm dead, what are you gonna do?
Well,
You're gonna come
hopefully
in
not
and
sit
drag
here
my body
forever.
out? Fair enough.
I'll wait here for 2 days. If you don't come back in 2 days.
I was thinking maybe
days.
2 hours.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
madam, how long does the invisibility spell last?
You've got an hour, so long as I don't get smacked.
All right. If I'm not back in an hour,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
you know,
Alright.
because by then I'll be visible, and whatever's in there will have seen me.
Yeah, you might be in trouble anyway at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which parent was your gnome?
My mother.
Okay. Your poor mother.
Why do you say that? Because I'm a freak?
No, because
No.
your father would have destroyed her insides.
Split her in half.
She was into that. What can I say?
All right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
fair enough.
give me your stealth roll.
It's not my fault. All right.
Okay.
I have
Don't forget it's
advantage
an
'cause of my
advantage, yeah.
boots.
Okay. Pedalin, silent, invisible, creeps forward. Hopefully. You don't know because you can't see her or hear her. Pedalin, you creep up to the wood wall and peer beyond and see what appears to be a small grove. Of course, much like everything else in the forest, it is largely blighted. However, there is still some green within. Do you slip past?
Yes.
Okay, so you squeeze past the tight boughs of the trees and find yourself, as mentioned previously, in like a ring of tall, I want to say like oaks, and something that you've not seen since childhood, when your mother first took you into the woods near your home and pointed out and told you a story of the heritage of gnomes. There is a small circle of mushrooms in the very center, also known as a fairy door.
Are there any signs of tracks or footprints or anything like that around the area, around the grove?
Roll survival. Had to turn off advantage.
I did.
Try as you might to look around. It doesn't look like anybody has passed this way recently, except for yourself, as you spot your own tracks.
About fairy doors.
Well, Mother told you that a fairy door is where gnomes came from. They were brought to this world through there from the Fae themselves and presented as a gift to the material plane for mankind. At least that's what the legend says. If anybody who is not of the Fae is to step into a fairy door, then legend has it that their souls will be damned for eternity and they will be destroyed by the Fae folk.
Hmm. Are there any signs of a pedestal around here?
Make a perception check. It looks as though perhaps one of the trees within the circle of the wood wall has been dressed up slightly, and may very well be a pedestal in disguise.
If I go over and touch it slightly, can I tell if it's like a mirage or something?
No, it's just like somebody has dressed it up. Like they painted it.
Painted it to look like a tree?
Mm-hmm.
Like a short little stubby tree.
Mm-hmm. Like a sapling.
Mm-hmm. I'm just writing this down. Do I have the wards still, or does somebody else in the group have them out of character?
I don't know who.
Because I would think I would
Grabbed them.
have at least the 2. Because of
You
writing
probably
on the
have all
madam.
3.
Right.
I would have
Okay.
never taken one at all.
Okay.
If sent her in with them,
I'm
that doesn't make
I'm-
sense for the one who might die.
I'm gonna try something that might. Well, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't be stupid. Maybe I should be stupid. I'm gonna take out one of the wards and put it on the pedestal and see what happens.
Okay.
Because I'd rather do that while I'm in here and invisible than try to drag everybody in here and piss off the Fae.
As you slide the ward in place, you notice several flowers begin blossoming and blooming within the wood wall itself.
But nothing else.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll retrieve the ward and
The flowers wilt and die.
then I'll investigate the area, being careful not to step within the fairy
What are you
ring.
looking for?
I'm looking for the statuette.
Okay.
I'm looking for hollows in the trees or ferns covering it, or maybe it's like disturbed earth where it's buried.
Okay. Unfortunately, you find no such sign.
All right, I'm gonna go back out to where the others are.
About 20 minutes later, you hear the sound of an approaching Petalin, as she did not see fit to sneak back.
Oh, good, you didn't die. That's
Not
fine.
yet, anyway.
I certainly hope you required her entering, then exiting.
Did you hear me enter?
I heard you enter our premises.
Well, I'll tell them what I found, and that it's probably still green in there, because the door to the Fae folk is there. But that also means that it's a dangerous place, particularly for all of them. There are the 3 of them.
Do you think the Fae folk could have taken the statuette?
Well, I mean, I don't know that much about them, but probably not. Why would they want it?
Well, I mean,
If the
Lord,
stories are
wherever they
true,
live.
they don't really spend a lot of time down here, you know?
I mean,
interesting.
there's. I'm saying there's a door there, and there's a thing missing.
Did you hear the part where I explained that it's very dangerous and that if it's true that you'll be damned forever?
I'm not saying I'm going through it. I'm saying, is it possible the statuette is through it and we can't retrieve?
I'm more
I'm gonna say
curious as to
no.
the fact that Eldrick was trying to hide this from us.
Well, it could
Well,
also have been that he was trying to
just
protect us.
Eldrick is not really one for subtle communication, and it is dangerous for most of us to go in there.
Perhaps.
What next? Intrepid hero.
I mean, we can all go in there, just don't step in the fairy ring.
Well, I don't think
The
there's
fairy door.
anything. Doesn't sound like there's anything else. You searched it. You didn't
Well,
find it.
yeah, but I might have missed something that somebody else might have spotted.
At this point, we're still short, what, 4 figures? And we don't even know where to begin.
Yep. You've got a fairy door and a snake that we don't know where it is.
Here's the other thing. Technically, I could try to step into the fairy ring.
All right, because you're like a
I
dual
don't-
citizen. You'll only be half cursed.
I have Fey ancestry. I could try.
Then she'd be 1.5 times cursed.
Oh. That's how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I'm already cursed because of my eye, and then I get an extra 50% for stepping in the ring.
Yep.
Eh. Maybe worth it.
Thoughts? Concerns? I mean,
yeah, concerns.
I don't think the Fey people. I don't think the Fey people took it. I don't. But I might be able to ask them for help. But then again, why would they? I mean,
They might 50% help you.
well, the forest is
Give you
crumbling
some-
around them, and if the stories are true, they've only cared about this little tiny portion. I mean, I don't really think they're that invested in the area.
You
Yeah.
make a lot of fucking assumptions. You guys know that? All of you.
Yep.
You guys are just like,
Uh-huh.
this wouldn't happen because of this. And like, where are you getting this information?
I guess the question is do we want to risk my life and eternal soul to step into the ring?
Do I want to? No. But I am willing for you to die if it helps cleanse this area.
Well, if she dies, it's definitely not going to help cleanse this area.
True. There is also that. Unless she was the key all along.
Something tells me that's not true.
I would prefer that you do not die.
Well, thank you. That is also
Yeah.
my preference.
I can second that. Currently,
But I-
she's the least likely to die.
But I am willing to
She's
let you
implied
if you
yet.
wish to.
I don't wish to.
Okay.
I'm call me superstitious, but I have a feeling that it's a bad idea for me to step into that.
I have been thinking about it a little bit. It does seem odd that snake seems like it was attacked, at least by the rips in its skin. I kind of want to investigate what happened there,
Okay.
because it was
All right.
unnatural.
Let's leave stepping into the fairy ring as plan like X or Y.
Sure.
Not all the way down by Z, but X or Y.
I think
Right,
plan
Z's
Z
the
is that
Afridi-
boulder.
No, Z is the Afridi bottle,
Oh, that's true.
as Rumble put it.
So plan Y is just the boulder.
I guess so. I
The
don't know.
What, you're gonna
boulder
drop
on
it on
the horse.
yourselves?
Crush ourselves.
No, the
Yeah.
boulder on the horse.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go try and track the snake.
Is there a location we have not been to yet?
I have them all written down here. Farm, waterfall, spider's lair, meadow, creek with the snake, wood wall, shrine. Nope, that's all of them.
Sorry, what?
Wait, why is Shrine 7?
This is just the center one. It's the last one.
But it doesn't have a point for a statue.
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's not the 7th one.
Well, that's all the 7 places that we went with the tiger.
Yeah.
You guys missed something. That's all.
Yeah.
I still want to see what happened with that snake.
Did you write down the directions that each one was facing? Or how to get there?
I wrote where they're facing, but not how to get there.
Sure. I mean,
The-
those are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Sure.
So which one are we missing?
Probably the one in between the meadow and the snake. Because remember, it's 2 hours from the meadow to the creek and snake, implying that there should be one in between them at an hour's distance from each shrine to each other. And he took us kind of the wonky roundabout way to get from the meadow to the snake one, so.
Okay.
There could be one in between there that he just didn't take us to.
So we could try to look for that. You could go after the snake.
I mean, we could look for the snake on the way, no? Well, it might take us way out of the way, is the problem. Because we have to track it.
Well, the one in between the snake and the meadow is a static place. So we can always go back to that. But the snake tracking is more time sensitive.
I'm honestly for the snake.
Yep.
I'm for the snake.
Alright, snake it is.
Still don't see what we gain from the snake.
Honestly, I'm just looking for information right now, and it seemed odd to me that it seemed like either the snake or something was bleeding where the skin was.
Well, it's wounded.
Or it wounded something and carried it off. Like, we need more information.
All right. So, 2 hours later, you arrive back where the carcass of, or not carcass, the shed skin of the snake was.
Everything's still the same as we saw it yesterday.
The snake skin itself is mostly disintegrated now.
Are we able to pick
So-
up on the tracks again, or the trail?
Survival.
Okay.
Why do you have guidance?
I did a boop.
I didn't hear you say that.
This stupid mic.
All right. Well, Udinor and Petalin, together, you just barely make out the trail, despite the fact that it seems to have rained the previous evening, though not quite so far as to reach over to the farm. But you are able to pick up the trail that was left behind.
Okay.
Do we follow it?
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
assuming I take the lead and have already, when I picked up the trail, I started walking saying, come on.
Okay. After, actually, give me one more survival check at advantage.
Okay.
All right. Then, after about 45 minutes, there is a rank, rotten smell that pierces even the smell of rot within the woods themselves. That just like assaults your senses. As you follow the trail a bit closer, you see an enormous snake just lying likely dead, partially flipped, unmoving, near a rocky outcrop.
Can we see its wounds?
It was infected in some way or another, and you can see that it has several punctures throughout its body.
Punctures like those from the horse? That was a question.
How am I don't know what to tell you.
I'm asking if the should I roll to investigate to see if the
Yes.
punctures
Here,
are
I'm
like
looking to
okay.
see.
Medicine.
Oh.
They look similar to the wound that was received by Lavinia and Egg, though not exactly. I mean, it's not exactly like they have a little flag next to them that says the unicorn did it. It's a hole.
No, but it's supposed to look kind of similar in so much as the snake's body is much bigger.
It looks like holes were punched into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Well-
snake looks like it's dying. Who's ready to cut open its belly? Take a look.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Take a look. It's in a snake.
The
Should we
bleeding
really be
rainbow.
messing with it though?
Huh?
Because it could be undead.
Well, that means we have to kill it before, right?
Is there signs of anything else around this area? Can I
No.
roll to check that? Okay. Just the snake?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. So
I mean, if you want to cut it open, be my guest.
Well, let's find
Cut
out
his
if it's
chest.
Put your dagger to the test.
Can we see if it's undead before we go chopping it up?
Oh, yeah, I can do that for you. Boom.
Thank you.
You do not sense any nearby undead.
Now it's clean.
Cool.
all right, then I'm gonna approach to cut it open, I guess.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
guess
know
this
where
is
the
happening.
stomach on a snake would be.
Do I? Gonna-
Nature.
I mean, I'll
Snakes.
see if I can.
Nope,
assist
I
you.
definitely don't. I have no idea what a snake is.
I mean, you know what a snake is, but
I assume it's just one long tube.
Tube stomach.
You know
I
what
just
that
assume
means.
it's straight down.
We just got to cut down the whole thing now. Find the stomach eventually.
Exactly. I'll get there eventually. Start with its throat.
so where is
Although,
everybody
yeah.
in relation to the snake?
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna
behind Egg.
I'm gonna stand about 20 feet back, holding my nose.
Okay.
I'm keeping my distance as well.
Okay.
Since I have no idea where to start, I'm starting below the head and cutting my way down.
With what?
Battle axe.
Okay. Only the finest surgeon's tools for
Yeah,
egg.
no kidding.
Don't we have surgeon's tools somewhere?
I'm sure
Like
they'd be
enchanted
super
ones?
useful on a
I don't-
giant snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, a battle axe is a
Alright.
surgeon tool for a giant snake.
All
Make
right.
a strength check for me, Egg.
Yep.
All right. You slip the axe easily between the scales of the snake and start just dragging it effortlessly down the body. At the first cut, The creature, not quite dead, lashes out, snapping at the closest thing, which will be a tiebreaker between Udanar and Egg. Evens or odds?
Odds.
One of you speak up. Okay. It will indeed be Egg. The half dead snake, despite his best efforts, barely manages more than a twitch. And you see its maw open and the giant fangs dripping with venom, but then it just falls lifeless, dead. You are able to easily resume cutting down the creature's body, eventually creating a nice little foldable snake.
Is
Yeah.
it undead now?
I don't know. Come closer. Let's find out together.
Oh God.
Yeah. So now that I've cut it open, I start looking for anything that could be a stomach.
So now Udanar can make an advantaged medicine check.
Okay.
And if you'd like, Egg, you can make one. Or anybody who's proficient in medicine.
No, I still can't tell.
Udanar spots what looks like it could have been a stomach.
Yeah, that looks like a sack of some sort. Let's look at that.
Let's cut it open.
As you go to cut it open, you notice a piece of stone protruding from within, giving you even more vigor. As you do so, you cut it open and you find the top of the pedestal as well as the figurine.
Hey,
I told you.
There's-
Told you it could
there's
have eaten it.
hot dog.
There is also the body of two of the large four-armed ape creatures.
Ew.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Man, this thing would have put up a hell of a fight, if not kill us. That seems real rough.
Do we want to?
Burn the body? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
Sure.
color are the snake scales?
There.
I'm gonna take a scale.
Okay.
Have fun.
I like
Petalin
things.
pries off a scale.
This is quite a lot of mass to burn.
Mm-hmm.
What if we just burn like the head? No head, no bite.
How about I just chop it into pieces? Like I just chopped the head into pieces.
Okay. So while you guys are debating burning it, Egg sets to work hacking it to bits. It's bloody butcher's work, but
Mhm.
it gets done.
Okay, so now we have to take the pedestal and the figurine back.
Well,
Okay.
we still have all the figures, so we really just what we have is one more.
Well, we should at the very least, we should put the pedestal back together, if we can.
Okay, let's try to do that.
Sure.
And so you guys head back, back the way you came, and I mean, it would take some stone masonry to, or perhaps magic to put this back together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have anything that would do that.
Well,
I do, but it doesn't give magic constructs their magic back.
yeah, that is the problem.
Well, put it together and we can
Worry
ask,
about that later.
ask Eldrick about it later if he
Yeah.
builds it.
There is well, actually, Udanar, make an Arcana check. There is a spell that you know of that may help in this situation. It would test the limits of your ability, though.
Yeah, that's the one I switched to.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh, do
I'm
you
just
have
gonna
that prepped?
I'm gonna roll it to you. This?
Yeah, you had that prepped?
Yeah, from the long rest. That's what I said. I gotta switch a spell out.
Oh, what in the world? All right. I did
Anyways,
not expect that. All right.
I'm gonna tell you guys to just like set the top on the pedestal
All right, I'll do that.
and then like hold it still for a second. As you do it, you see I'm just gonna start like picking up bits of rubble and rock that's around, and just by some weird, almost like uncanny unseen force, they're gonna just start like rebuilding the top and the bottom together as I cast this. I'll show it to everybody here.
What?
And then in almost a moment, it just seems like it hasn't been touched at all. It's perfectly the way the other ones were. In shape.
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody clipping their toenails? Or
No, I
fingernails?
have a snappy hair thing that I'm playing
Oh.
with.
And I just start panting after a little bit and a little
Mhm.
bit woozy, but
I give Udinar a pat on the back.
I fall over when you do.
Oh, oh no!
Okay. What's next?
Do we need to make sure it works?
I pull out a statuette and place it on the newly repaired pedestal.
Nothing happens.
No signs of life or water changing color or nothing.
That is what nothing happens means.
Don't be a jerk. I'm asking legitimate questions.
All right. Well, it's repaired, but not working apparently.
Yep.
I guess.
I do put on the one specifically that came from the snake's stomach, also just to double check.
Mhm. Sure. No, nothing happens.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a pedestal that doesn't work, and we've got a pedestal to find, and two more. Or how many more do we have to find?
We have 4 of
We
7.
have 4. Yeah, so 3 more to find. All right,
Do we-
3.
Do we go in search of the missing pedestal then?
Sure,
It-
that's a
it
thing
sh-
that
it
I have a
should be
clue about.
south of here.
According to my crudely drawn directions, yes. Now, which way is south?
All right. Give me some survival checks. Thank Madame Beldam for her excellent sense of direction, likely a latent holdover from when she had the power of the ring from the secret library of Odahetsu, as she is able to keenly let everybody know that way is south, and based off of her recollection of where the shrine should be, then clearly you should head this way.
Okay, I'm pretty sure south is this way, but I'll trust you.
Off we go.
So,
Find the pedestal.
thankfully, Madame Beldam's keen instincts were right on point, and after only an hour, you would come across a truly strange sight. Perhaps 100 meters or so in the distance, it looks like a tiny village. There are small huts. There appears to be some sort of creatures moving around them, and sure enough, in the center of the village itself is yet another pedestal.
Are they
Well.
when you say tiny village, do you mean like everything is smaller in scale or it's just a
Yes.
small humanoid village?
No, like much small, like tiny people.
Huh.
Like the huts are smaller than the pedestal.
Hey, look,
I
Pedalin. Now you're a giant.
If you look in the D&D chat in Discord, a picture of the creatures that you see wandering around can be seen.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Walking heads. Got it.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Madam Beldam, you recall from a favorite book of yours in your childhood with the circus that you were very rarely allowed to look at because children have sticky fingers that seem to have gone missing at some point after you hit your adolescence. Once spotting a creature just matching this description, it is called a boggle. And what you know about them is that they tend to be very oily and secrete an oil from their skin. They are fey creatures. They do not speak the languages of men, and largely they have no persuasion towards natural good nor evil tendencies, but are definitely tricksters and troublemakers. That book, a favorite of yours, was a list of fantastical creatures from a time long forgotten.
Yeah, so that was 2 nat 20s in a row on the south check and then the intel check on that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Good timing. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I rolled a nat 1 on my survival. So.
Me too. Me too.
Rolled a 10, but I did roll a 20 on cutting open that snake.
Nice.
There you go. Okay.
So, what are the odds that one of these creatures are what were at that camp before?
Oh.
Yep. I didn't even put that together. Possible, I suppose.
Do they eat humanoids?
I don't even know
Well,
what they are.
It might have stolen the statuette from one of them, even.
Oh no.
They're not exactly ones for conversation, at least in any languages I know.
We have that helmet. If you want to try talking to them.
I think the little one should try talking to them.
And I shall be their god.
Pedaling finally
Okay.
the power trip.
What makes you think they're going to even want conversation if they can talk to us at all?
I didn't say I think they would. I said we could try.
Oh, okay.
We have it in our power. I mean,
We-
talking to
we
people.
would know the limits of comprehend languages as a spell, right?
I would hope so.
Okay. Because we only understand the language, it doesn't give us the ability to speak it.
Oh, yeah. How many of the boggles are running around? Can we tell? Like a full
Several
village?
handfuls. Yeah.
Like a full village worth?
Yeah, between anywhere between say 8 and 30.
Okay.
Would the entire village fit in a 40-foot diameter?
Why?
just need the info.
Drop a train on them.
And destroy the pedestal in the process. I
you
take
have-
it there is.
Rebuild it.
I take it the statuette isn't in the middle of the pedestal.
It is not. However, if you'll roll perception for me, please. So Petalin and Egg will see that every once in a while it appears that one of the small boggle creatures approaches the pedestal with great reverence, kneels before it, and then scurries off to do whatever it was that it was off to do before.
Oh, they are seeming to worship it.
Hmm.
If they worshipped it, why would they remove the statuette from it, though?
Are we sure they removed it?
No. I'm not sure of anything.
Hmm.
Just throwing out thoughts.
Perhaps they worshipped it when it did what it was meant to do, and they're hoping for it to come back. For all we know, like
That could be. They might
we
not
don't-
have the statuette.
exactly.
know.
I'm gonna ask Beldam if she knows what language they speak, or just the fact that she knows that they wouldn't speak common.
She just knows that they don't speak the language of men.
Okay.
They are fey creatures. So, whatever the language of the fey may be.
Hmm.
Which would I know what that fey language is?
Do you speak it?
Well, not like know the language, but
I don't think
know
you
what
would.
it is and its roots. Okay.
If only we could tame one.
Speaking of taming, Follower has been doing his best to follow, but is getting slower and slower. Takes him longer to catch up with the group each time that you move.
I go check on him. Dig him up.
Did you share that they speak the language of the Fae? Like, do you know that they're part of the Fae?
He did say they're fake
I know that
creatures.
they're fey
He did?
creatures, but I don't know what that language would be.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Before you go do your stupid thing, Egg, how do you check on him once you dig him up?
I just, look him over.
Oh, and he doesn't look like he's hurt or anything. Just he hasn't eaten in a while.
Oh, I give him some food.
He eats ravenously
Okay.
and waits for more food.
I
Do
give
you
him-
have more rations?
Yeah.
Okay, because
As
each
soon
each
as
one of
I-
these effectively destroys a ration.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Okay. So he'll eat 3 rations.
Okay. I was good on rations till we got to the forest because of good berries, but I've been doing the ration destroying.
Okay, let's do your stupid thing, Udinar.
I'm not, like, even out of character. I'm not sure this is gonna work. So have my back.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna start walking towards this little village,
Okay.
and I'm guessing one of them will see me sooner rather
So
than later.
are you going alone?
Unless somebody wants to trail me, yes.
Okay. So Udinar approaches alone. After
How far away were we?
Maybe 100 meters.
Hmm.
I will follow him to within 120 feet of the village if he gets that close.
How closely do you follow?
About 20 feet back. And when we get close, I'm gonna stealth it. I don't want them to see
Why
me.
why wouldn't you stealth from the beginning then?
Fine, I'll stealth from the beginning.
Okay. Okay. All right. Udinor confidently strides forward, Petalin sneaking behind, creeping along as best she can to stay in his shadow or behind a tree, so as not to be seen. After Udinor gets within about 50 meters, it seems as though the tiny villagers have finally noticed, and one by one they come to stand at the edge of the village and just stand mouths agape at this lumbering giant that approaches them. Like soon there are about 30 of the little boggles standing at the very edge of their village, clamoring to push past one another to just gawk at the thing that gets nearer.
Okay.
And yeah, I was gonna say take it from here.
Okay, I'm gonna stop at that point, and then I'm going to just like take a knee basically to go down a little bit more.
When you take a knee, they all fall to their knees and press their faces into the dirt.
And I'm going to speak a language I haven't heard in a while, and
Okay.
hope that by
Yeah.
some miracle they understand my words when I say, "At ease, little ones, we are not here to harm you."
So you say that, and there's a shrill shriek that is like a chorus among them all as they lift their faces, now covered in dirt, to look at you, and all begin speaking at once. The only message, actually, make a perception check. Let's see what you can even get out of this. You decipher through all of the shouting and clamoring a message of our Savior is here. He has been sent to us. The chief will be saved.
I can understand them.
Yes.
Holy shit. Amazing. Okay. All right. Just out of character, I feel better now. I'm gonna tell the others that it's okay. They think of us as gods, perhaps. I guess I'll tell.
You.
Sorry.
I was gonna say you're shouting that back to the group.
You know what? No, I'll just wave them forward, like come forward, and then I will like tell the mass here that send only one so we can converse. Too many people, like there's too many of you. Send one to speak for you.
Okay. Does anybody else approach after Udinar waves them forward?
Sure.
The moment they spot Egg, they all split and dive into their huts.
Well,
Oh.
I guess I'll back off then.
Okay, yeah. At that point, I'll just put up my waving forward turns into like
Yeah.
me just putting up like a fist, like stop
Uh-huh.
or whatever. And I'll say also in the same language, worry not, they're with me. How can I be of assistance to you?
You hear several of them chirp demon from within their huts, and you see a few of them just peering out at you through the little hollow square windows that they have carved, trembling with fear.
I point to Egg, or where Egg was if he moved. I'm not sure at this point, and ask.
I backed off.
Okay, so then where they saw him, and say, "This is a demon," like questioning.
The ones that you can see through their windows that are looking at you are nodding fervently. Demon of the large lands. Slay the forest. Kill the nymphs.
Interesting.
And slay the friend demon.
Well, then I shall make sure he harms. He lays no harm to this village.
They say,
And then-
slay the pink demon.
You know what? I'm gonna get up and draw my weapon and start going toward Egg. And I'm gonna first of all, Egg, I'm gonna make a motion as I turn my back to them and start walking towards you with my other hand, saying come here, it's okay or whatever.
Huh.
Egg nervously steps forward.
I'm gonna take my weapon out and just whisper to you, just play along. And I'm gonna slash it down just right in front of you to make it look like I'm attacking you. And then I'm just gonna whisper to you as I'm doing it, play dead.
Let's get a performance check from Egg.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's see how I do. Nope.
Was it a 1?
Well, I mean that's the number that I see.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah.
The
I have a
most
good
unconvincing
performance,
performance of a dead man that anybody has ever seen. He keeps
swings
opening his
it, then
eyes.
wait for a second, and then
Yeah.
I fall over.
Yeah. The shovel is swung expertly. Even Petalin and Madame Beldam aren't sure that it didn't connect until the response comes about 2 seconds later. Egg clutches at his throat, or you know what? I'm gonna let you do this. You describe your terrible acting job.
So he swings straight down, and I act like my throat's been slashed sideways. Make some bug eyes and ha ha, and stand there for too long doing that until eventually falling over. And
Alright.
I can't stop twitching.
Okay, so at that point, I'm gonna put my weapon away, face the little creatures, and say, I have slain your demon.
Okay.
Then Egg says, "Yes, I am dead."
God damn it.
So several of them come out of their huts, and they all gather around, they leave the village and gather around Egg, and they attempt to lift him and bring him back to the village. Egg, how do you handle this? Is Egg ticklish?
No.
Okay.
He grew up around goblins. He's not ticklish.
All right. Well, this is not entirely unlike being lifted by 20 smaller goblins. Uglier ones too.
All right, I go along with it for now.
All right. So they carry him back to the village, all chanting, "Feast, feast, feast!"
I open my eyes and stare at Udanar.
It'll be okay. I just kind of mouth to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I close
then
my eyes
they-
again.
I
They
will
bring you back to the village, and several of them are tugging on Udanar's trousers or whatever that you happen to have, pulling you along. Clearly, they want you involved as the great savior.
Mhm.
And they sit you on a stool that's much too small. If you're not careful, it might get sucked up. And
Right.
they set Egg down and they start poking at him, and then all of a sudden there's this loud wailing cry, and the one that was carrying an all too large butcher knife and getting it ready, it says, "This one infected too," and kicks Egg. Any reaction, Egg?
I like hork up a big loogie and spit it out.
Hmm.
Like I let it like drool out of my mouth.
Ah, okay. Give me another performance check.
All right.
Well, you may have thought you were going to let it dribble out, but you did indeed spit it. So he
Okay.
just spits at the chef. He steps back. He's like, "Dead demons, so strange." And he calls several others over, and they drag the body and roll Egg down a small hill into a ditch, whereupon he lands with another corpse. Only this one's actually dead.
Perfect.
Can I tell what it is? Like, is it demon?
Looks like, I mean, it's humanoid.
Okay. But it's not like furry.
No.
Okay. Oh.
And so now Egg is in a ditch just out of view of the little village itself. Udinar, you are seated on a much too small stool. Pedalin has crept up as stealthily as she can and has watched the entire thing, and I have no idea what Madame Beldam is doing. Probably still back at the origin point.
Yeah, I didn't move up.
All right, so then what's next, Udinar?
I have come to help little ones. What plights you?
Through all of their shouts, you gather that the village chief is missing, and the terrible snake took him. The stone snake.
I say to them, I have slain your stone snake. What of this chief?
They all like oogle and just like ooh and ah at you and coo and like, oh, great slayer of the stone snake. Where's her head?
I will return it, but I require some information as to find your chief.
The great stone snake took our chief.
Oh, shit.
Please return him, they say.
Then your chief is still missing, and I will look for him. And then I'll point to the pedestal and say, where is the idol? Or like
The
whatever
chief
they
was
would
going
understand.
to. They tell you the chief was going to have it consecrated by the great god tiger. And that's when the stone snake took him and headed. And they point in a direction that's away from the shrine.
I'm going to give you this to see if I can tell which direction that is from the shrine.
Your best guess is east.
Yep, that makes sense. That checks out. I'll ask them, how have you survived in these harsh times?
The great god tiger and the wood ladies have been very nice and helpful to Boggles.
And from where do the wood ladies come?
They point, and based off your previous survival check, it is northwest. Perhaps toward the wood wall.
Right. Interesting.
They say, all was okay until White Beast and Pink Demons arrived. Pink Demons killed the Friend Demon. Then all got worse.
How many pink demons?
They start trying to count on their fingers as best they can, but end up just holding up way too many fingers to count.
I'll say more than
They're all
this
they
and
all tried to tell you.
have like 5 out.
They look at your fingers and they say, "Bigger than that."
Okay. Okay. And what is this friend demon?
Dead.
Where?
Pink demons killed him. Camp on edge of forest. Many days. Sad sounds.
I'm gonna pull out the medallion and say, was this his?
They all start nodding. Friend demon magic source. Make
I nod.
all feel better.
I nod and just as I'm gonna start like getting up to leave and say, it will be better soon, I promise you.
Okay.
And I am going to walk away saying I will return.
Say goodbye, friend giant.
And I guess I will go back to where I knew Beldam was, and I'm hoping Egg and Petalin will at some point find their way back to that point as well.
Sure. What does Egg do in his ditch?
Start looting this corpse.
Okay. You find a dagger with a pommel with the sigil of the House of Scales, a black cloak, a chain shirt, a satchel or a pouch with 25 gold pieces, and a small gold chain with many little charms on it, as well as a pouch of human teeth.
So that's a dagger, a cloak, 25 gold, a gold chain with what on it?
Charms,
Charms. And the human teeth.
and a chain shirt if you want to
And
take it.
chain shirt. Yeah, I'll take all of it.
As you're pulling the chain shirt off of the corpse, you notice that several of the boggles are now looking down the hill at you, and they have huge wide eyes, and they look terrified that you also have risen from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
They screech and run back to their village.
Hurry up and take off as well.
Okay. Eventually, Egg makes it back to the group, maybe an extra 10 minutes later.
Okay. I'm guessing Petalin did as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was
Yep,
behind
yep.
you the whole time.
Oh,
You didn't even hear me.
Whoa.
well, there's a first for everything, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to share the information and start off by saying, who would have thought that I would know that language? Because it wasn't me.
What language was it even?
A language long forgotten by people of my kind, I guess. But I'll tell you after. Well, I mean, whatever. It's Sylvan.
Oh.
Yeah, same as the learning center.
Yep, that's right. So
Does Petalin know Elven?
I do know Elven.
Because, like, mechanically, isn't Elven like taken from roots of Sylvan?
Yes, technically, but it's like Old High German versus German.
Latin versus Italian.
so I mean, you all heard the information, but I'll relay it obviously to you in character, and just state that like it seems that that body in the cage was maybe a little more important to this area than we thought to begin with. But why would the House of Scales or some raiding company of some sort want to like screw with it? It's weird.
Maybe they were hired by the logging company to stop things from messing with their logging operation.
Maybe they were hired by the
I don't know.
horse.
Maybe they were hired by the horse.
I think Egg is right. I think they were hired by the logging company to clear out all the creatures in this area.
Could be. So
The snake they spoke of,
mhm.
they had specifically said the stone snake. Is that the same creature?
I don't think so.
I assumed it was because it's the snake that bit the stone. That's what I read it as anyway.
Oh, sure.
And either way, they want me to bring back the head of the snake, which is going to be impossible thanks to our pink demon over here.
I mean, you could bring back parts of its skull.
Yeah, fair enough. More importantly, their village chief is missing, and that village chief seems to have one of the wards. The ward for their village specifically.
Well, he wasn't exactly in the stomach of the snake.
That we could tell, because the ward was.
Well, the ward from... We don't know that ward was the one from this village. I think we had assumed that it was the ward from the broken pedestal. But I guess
Yep.
it could just as easily have been from this village.
Well, we didn't find any remains of these creatures in that stomach, so it could have been dissolved, or the village chief is still missing, simply.
Out of character, they pointed east as where the chief went.
Yeah, to the center, Eldrick, or that's what I
No,
think.
No,
it's opposite the center.
I was gonna say I thought
Oh, yeah,
Eldrick's
you're right.
shrine was west, and the snake and the chief went east.
Yeah, you're right. We're east of Eldrick. That's right. So they pointed
Yeah.
further.
So maybe it's not the same snake, and maybe we got to go that way to find this
Sure.
quote unquote stone snake. Which I
Sure.
have a feeling may not be a snake.
Sure. As much as Egg here is a pink demon, it also might not be a stone snake. That makes sense.
I mean, it might be. I just,
Also, they made mention of the creatures, the north there beyond the wall that you were discussing, and how they've received help from them.
the Fey people,
Mm-hmm.
the wood ladies.
Mm-hmm. The wood ladies. So yeah, that just confirms that. I guess our next course of action is to continue east to see if we can find the chief, or at least something.
I agree.
Sure.
East would be my vote.
Okay, and we're running short on time, so we'll take care of this next section, and then unfortunately we will have to call it. And we will finish this once the wedding is done and we are back. But we should be able to get this done at least.
Okay, off east we go.
Give me just a moment. All right, so the group heads east, following the direction of the tiny Boggle village, hoping, it seems, to find the village chief that had gone missing after being attacked by the stone snake. Now, where exactly east they were heading and what it was they were hoping to find, they didn't know, except that it would likely be short, ugly, and carrying a statuette. So as you travel along through the woods, you eventually come across what appears to be, in the distance, a large lake and sounds of conflict nearby. There are several womanly screams, the occasional wet smacking sound, a splash here and there, and as you clear the last hill blocking your view, you spot. Let me put everybody in place. Surrounded by boulders, a familiar shaped creature standing upon a rock in the distance, firing a bow at the shambling mounds of corrupted vine, as several more of them that look like perfect little statues are nearby.
Ah, shit.
What?
Is it a Medusa?
Would I know what a Medusa is?
You would not. Well, actually, roll int. You might, but
Oh, okay.
you weren't there for the original encounter as Noodles.
Nope.
No, you do not know what a Medusa is.
Well, can I guess really, can I tell if it's a Medusa from here?
Make a perception check. Yes. Having seen such a creature before, you immediately and easily recognize it.
Oh no.
As she's turned several of the shambling mounds to stone. Well, a couple of them anyway, and there are two others harassing her at the lake shore.
What? Oh no.
Nothing seems to have noticed you. And
What?
yes, oh no.
What's a Medusa?
The snake was not the rock snake.
Oh, the stone snake. Oh no.
Yeah, our
She's
character,
this-
I knew this was what was happening.
Did you? I had no idea, honestly.
Yeah. But I didn't think Egg would.
Well, I guess you're just smarter than me.
No, I'm
Egg
smarter
knows
than
now.
Egg.
I'm just gonna whisper to Udnar, that's the stone snake. She'll turn you to stone if you look at her face.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to hide behind this tree here. Don't mind me.
Make a stealth check. Okay. So Pedalin dives and hides behind a tree. What does everyone else do?
Are we able to see the alleged village chief anywhere?
You do not see him.
Well, seeing my companion hide, it actually scares me a little bit, so I try to hide as well. I follow the lead.
Okay.
Edelyn, I have a plan.
What is it?
I'm gonna hand her the giant's wallet.
What am I supposed to do with this?
And then I polymorph into a giant eagle
Oh yes.
and pick her
Oh
up
my
with my
God.
talons.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
And we are going to fly over
Mm-hmm.
and carpet bomb Medusa. with the boulder I picked up earlier.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I guess make an acrobatics check to fly and accurately do this, and then Pedalin make a dexterity attack.
How do I just roll dexterity?
Yeah, because you're not proficient in box.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's timing when you need to open the box to.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm
giant
proficient
little
in
stats
simple
here.
weapons.
Acrobatics.
This has a
and
latch.
dex.
Mm-hmm.
It's not simple.
All right, I'm going to show everybody this roll. So cross your fingers, stick out your tongue.
Wow.
Yep.
That would be 13 with the eagle stats.
Okay. Moment.
Oh, you know what? We've rested, so I can use. Well, is that going to hit or not?
Well, hold on. Gotta do something.
I'm guessing
This is
that
the
answers
greatest
that
day
question.
ever. This is the greatest thing we've ever done.
As Pedalin dumps the giant's wallet open, it rapidly expands and dumps the large boulder directly atop the Medusa's head, turning the stone snake into a stone sandwich.
The greatest part about this is actually the blood stain we'll put on the rock.
It's true. Not wrong.
Okay.
Madam
seems to
Beldam,
have
this is the
happened.
greatest idea.
The mounds no longer having their quarry, kind of shamble onward, I guess. Okay, combat over.
Oh, we should go and pick up that rock again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
I should have rolled that damage publicly.
How much was it?
Enough to kill the Medusa.
Oh, so much. She was a bitch the last time. Oh,
That could have been a
I'm
different.
gonna
Medusa.
cry.
I'm gonna
Okay,
when they
now
come
what?
back down, I'm gonna ask them what the hell just happened.
When the madam puts me down, I'm gonna high five her.
I'm still a bird, so it's
I
a-
don't
a
care.
wing
High five me
slap.
with your wing. What do you mean? What the hell happened? You saw what happened.
They
Why
killed
did
the
you
rock snake.
murder a random creature fighting for their life?
It was a Medusa.
You didn't
know how
answer
easy-
what a Medusa is besides it turns you to stone if you look at it.
And they're horrible people.
Yeah, I was stoned for a while. It's not recommended.
And it's impossible
what?
to try and. The
Uh,
last time
Madam-
we were into one of these things, it didn't go well for us.
All right, I'm sure there will be time for stories later. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Oh, what's next?
We're
Start
gonna go get our
searching.
boulder back.
While she does that, I'm going to start searching around for signs of the little chief, perhaps turned to stone.
Um,
I'm gonna look for little
Okay.
tracks.
Go help Madame Beldam with her boulder.
okay.
Then inspect the smear.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you're gonna have to put the boulder into the box, so there won't be any opportunity to inspect the smear because it'll be in the box. So 10 minutes later, you get a boulder in a box, and there is, in fact, a paste where once there was a Medusa.
While Udinar and I are searching and casting around, I'm going to tell him the full long story of the previous Medusa.
Okay. And the basilisk blood and Madame Beldam's miraculous arrival at the Temple of
Mhm.
Elements.
Yes.
Yeah. That she was as good as dead.
Pretty much.
All right. All right, so you guys get the boulder back. Egg, you realize that you weren't really needed so much.
Mhm.
Oh wait,
As
we
the-
needed evidence of
Yeah.
her being dead.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing
Okay,
left of her, is there?
we, we gotta dump
We
out
have
the
a
rock and scrape
We
off.
have a smear, is what we have.
I'm sure they're
Yeah.
willing to overlook it if we find the village chief, or at least the idol, their relic.
Okay. Is anybody else going to help look for the chief, as Udinar and Petalin have uncovered nothing of use?
I'm gonna search in the water next to the
Okay.
boulder. Just like feel around a bit.
Oh, and Udinar, you can roll investigation. I know you were looking for tracks, but you didn't find any. So if you want to just like do a raw search.
Sure. Well,
Egg, as you expertly search the water, you spot something glimmering, or not glimmering, but you spot something out of place that is not quite a stone, just in the edge, or the water's edge itself. It appears as though you have found the statuette, likely in the hands of the Medusa before she was pulverized into goo.
Mhm. That's what I was looking for. No chief though.
Unfortunately, a bunch of shit rolls on that one. Just a general perception check from Madame Beldam, then, since she's an eagle. Why did you roll twice?
Eagles have advantage.
Oh, I see.
Nice.
Okay. So, thanks to Madame Beldam's elf eyes, I mean eagle eyes, beneath the closest stone shambling mound cowers a small boggle in slightly better looking clothing than the rags that there were before. He appears to be wearing a bracelet as a crown.
I
He
caw in
doesn't-
that general direction.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that you've spotted him.
I guess I'll swoop over to Udinar
Mm-hmm.
and point him in that direction since he can communicate.
okay.
So the eagle lands next to Udinar and gestures with its wing in the direction of the stone gambler.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to right about here, like where the paths are.
Okay.
And I'll like... sorry.
Make a perception check at advantage, please. Okay, you do spot the chief.
Okay. I'm gonna like look directly at the chief and say, "It's okay, little one. I've slain your demon."
He slowly crawls out from under the stone shambler and says, "You speak boggle tongue."
I say, "It's a miracle."
Says, "Only other boggle tongue is great tiger of woods."
Oh,
How
now
you know me?
your village sent me to bring you back. It is time to go home.
Says, "But need great tiger to bless relic, or to bless statue. Wood ladies bring boggle great fortune with small statue. Eldrick lover, wood lady. She help us. She get pedestal. Convince God Tiger to build here."
Son of a bitch. I will get statue blessed by tiger. We go way back.
He closes one eye and looks at you. Say, "Okay. To village then?"
To village for you, me to tiger.
He goes and stands next to you and reaches up as though he's trying to grab at something.
I guess I'll like kneel but down or bend a little bit to see what it is.
As you do so, he grabs your arm and firmly wraps his hand fully around your pinky finger. Okay, village now.
I nod and then I just like shake his hand or whatever the hell he's doing. I go with it.
All right. Well, he holds on for dear life.
I will lift him.
He's still holding on.
Put him on your shoulder.
Yeah, I'll put him on my shoulder and I will begin walking.
Okay.
Lazy little fucker. All
I
right.
think he was just trying to hold your hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was gonna lead you like a kid
Yeah,
leading
yeah,
a
yeah.
parent.
It's okay. It's okay, kid. I know where it is. As I start walking, I'm going to gesture for Egg to get the hell out of eyesight. And
Egg, make a perception check.
yeah, I'm hoping he picks up.
All right.
Let's say you just notice, and as long as you're willing, then thus you comply.
Yeah, sure.
You dive into the bushes, or the behind the stone shambler, and do a little bit of a dance to stay out of sight of the Boggle chieftain. So you guys make it back to the village. Well, Udanar makes it back to the village. I presume everybody else hangs back. They all gasp and bow and are super thankful, and they don't even mind that you don't have the stone snake's head, because the village chief tells them all about how the god giant is friends with the god tiger and made a great boulder fall and turn the stone snake back into stone.
That's what happened.
He then tells them all of how the great giant god is going to speak to the tiger god and get the statue blessed and bring good fortune along with the wood ladies back to the Boggle village.
I nod and just say, I'm on my way to do that right now. I will return when it is done.
Okay, so they let you go. So the group reconvenes, and I need to know what you guys have planned, and then we're gonna maybe do one more step and then call it.
I think we should go try to speak to Eldrick.
Yep.
So we have, what, 5 now?
We have 5.
And
Either
we
way,
know all the
we're going to the
locations.
middle, right? The shrine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just pretend that those aren't active anymore.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Eldrick is missing.
Oh, he's missing. Okay.
He's off pouting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody else think that maybe Treetop's center relic is a wood nymph that Eldrick was in love with?
I wasn't, but now that is a thing that's in my mind. Sure.
Because they're missing,
It would explain why he got so pissy.
right?
Could a actual creature be used as a ward?
If it's a fae, maybe. Can I roll Arcana on that one? I mean, I worked with the
No.
wards. No?
No.
No.
You've been around them, but you've never made them.
Mm.
But I mean, you guys are also aware that Eldrick was using his own life force to create specialized wards.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's just a theory.
Yeah, I
Could-
think it's
Put
a strong
that
one.
in the maybe pile.
Sure. Man, I'm gonna be so pissed that if when we meet up with Eldrick, I could have just spoke with him this whole time. We'll see, I suppose.
Well, I
Uh-huh.
suppose it's fair because we didn't really try anything other than
You're-
common.
You're totally right. Because why the hell would I think a tiger would speak Sylvan?
Right?
I guess, like, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so walk me through what the plan is, and then that way I can at least have some idea of how the group is intending to progress in our next session.
I want to find Eldrick.
Okay, but why?
Because I
Yeah,
want to
what I'm.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I want to try to get information again from him, or, like, converse it somehow.
I will spare you the pain of learning that he, in fact, only speaks tiger.
Okay. That changes everything, then, for what I'll do.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we'll just go ahead and say Eldrick is here. And that you learn he can only speak tiger.
If we short rest and I use Arcane Recovery to get polymorph and turn into a tiger,
I mean, y'all are gonna growl at each other
Yeah.
the way
it's not-
tigers growl at each other. You're gonna go rawr, and he's gonna go rawr, and it's gonna be the end
then
of
they're
it.
gonna bang.
Yeah, that's how that
Can't
works.
you feel the love
So if
tonight?
you want that to happen,
Oh, I saw that movie. I know how it ends.
Anything else?
I mean, we
What-
have
what do you
questions
guys
for
in-
him.
What are you guys intending to do?
I think we should check out the lumber mill.
I think we should go back to the ferry door.
The
And
fairy door is also a thing.
Both of these
maybe-
things. Yeah.
maybe I should try to talk or find if there are any nymphs or wood ladies left.
If we want to be more safe, we should maybe send a boggle through the fairy door instead.
Are they fae?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the boggle statue?
Oh, we need to get Eldrick to quote unquote bless it and then take it back to them.
All right. So do you tell Eldrick that you have the statue and that it needs to be blessed?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's here, we
Uh,
might as
he-
well do that now.
Yeah. All right. So he comes up and he licks it and then looks at you expectantly, like, okay.
Yeah. I figured.
Thanks.
Plus, it
Yeah.
didn't mean anything.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Then we need to sort out the pedestal that was rebuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell
Okay.
him that if he has a way to repair it, that
He'll
it's in one
sigh
piece
and
again.
he'll sigh and start heading that direction. What are you guys gonna do with the Boggle statue now that it's blessed?
Take it back to the Boggles, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't really
everybody
say.
okay with that?
I didn't say when we would
Yeah.
be back, but yeah, we could do that. Why not?
Because if we don't return it, their village will probably be in trouble.
Yeah, they'll probably die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you take and this is good. This is what I wanted to happen. So you take the statue back to the Boggles,
Mhm.
and the general consensus that you get is that the chief tells Udinar that you now have a fairy boon owed to you by Boggles and their kin.
I'm going to pretend like I know what that means when they talk about it, and I'm gracious. And then I'll probably ask Petalyn if she knows later.
Why are you asking me? I don't know anything about Boggles.
All you tiny people.
You! How dare you! Petalyn stomps off, sits on a rock facing away, arms folded, and just doesn't even look at anyone.
All right. So after you guys return the Boggle statue, it sounds like the plan is to. Are you gonna wait a day, or are you actually? You know, you have plenty of time. Do you guys just want to go back to the wood wall, or are you gonna want to go to the logging camp, which is actually several hours away?
Oh, I didn't realize it was that far.
I think
Yeah,
we go
you guys
back
are in
to-
the heart. You guys are in the heart of Eldrick's Woods,
Yeah.
and it was on the edge.
Yeah,
Doing the fairy door first makes
wall
sense.
for sure. Yep.
Okay. So you guys will go to the wood wall next. All right. So then that's what we're going to call it. So the group will head to the wood wall at the beginning of the next session in the hopes of learning the information that they need to learn in order to take on the Blight Unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody okay with that?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. All right. So the 16th is when we return. I do not want to play that weekend. So how about the 24th?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we will play the 24th of November. Until then, everybody have a wonderful couple of weeks. Have a good night. And actually, as always, any questions, comments, concerns before I go?
Nope. I'm good.
I think
Nope.
we're good.
Okay.
It is daylight savings tomorrow as well.
Yes. Everybody gets an extra hour of sleep, which is why I didn't mind pushing us an extra hour.
Makes sense.
All right.
My dog doesn't know that.
Everybody have a good night.
Bye, guys. Good
There you
game.
go.
See ya.
Good game, guys.
Yeah. See you in a few weeks.
See ya.
Bye, bye, bye.
Have a good trip.
Because Suzanne and I have a couple of things that we have to get taken care of.
Cool.
So
Okay,
Do
I'll start
what?
off the recap as usual then with last session. After doing some talking at the shrine, we decided to go to the northern wood wall again and check out the fairy ring and what that was going to do for us. And what it did for us was finally give us some information that I've been wanting for a few sessions now, frankly. Got some info about Eldrick. We talked to... Okay, first of all, I stepped into the fairy ring with Petalyn, although she followed shortly thereafter, and talked to the wooden lady, who we found out was named Pycia, and she gave us some information about her relationship with Eldrick, it seemed like she was perhaps in love with him or a mistress of some sort, but it sounded like it was, we find out later what that's all about, was more seems like a political relationship or whatever. And she was distressed because Eldrick has not visited her for a long time, and she is holding one of his statues because she doesn't want it to go out and be used for its intended purpose of killing Eldrick to restore his woods, or to ward off his woods, basically. So she's holding on to it, and we kind of just let her keep it because I couldn't exactly talk her out of it. We do find out that Eldrick has a wife, and that she is somehow being used as a ward for Treetop. So with this information, we decided to go back out and talk to the rest, to talk as a group as a whole, and kind of decide our next plan of action. And I'll pass it off to Homer from there.
Yeah, so we started going back to the pedestals to set them up. We fought zombies, a group of zombies at the formerly broken pedestal. We met some paladins tracking the holy mem who we had found dead in a cage over by the farm. And we eventually sold them the holy man's trinket for gemstones. Then we went to, after preparing the statuettes that we had, we decided to fight the unicorn again. And it didn't go great at first. Beldam turned Udinar into a giant ape, and then he was mind controlled and almost killed her, and we all almost died. But before we all went down, Beldam popped the Afridi bottle and had it finish off the evil unicorn. We then went back to the shrine and were attacked by a group of men from the House of Scales that we finished off. And then there was some info dump from Eldrick later on. So I'll pass it on.
Oh, it's my turn. Sorry, I'm deep in this spreadsheet. After returning the horn to Eldrick, he was able to provide us with a cure to the blight. And that I think Petalin was still uninfected by the end.
Woohoo!
Never got hit. So we finally have a way to get back into town without being killed on sight. The info dump that we did get, we learned a bit of backstory of how Eldrick is a descendant of the people from Spira, and he has a vested interest in bringing it back. However, the only person who knows where the horn to call Spira is his wife, who's indisposed, I suppose would be the term for it. So we need to, go speak with the elders, and they would have a way to talk to her spirit, or was it speaking with his teacher?
Are you asking me, or are you asking the
I was
group?
asking the group, anyone
Okay.
who recalls.
I don't remember first, but I do. The note I do have is that before we were going to rescue, we also wanted to find the horn of Spira at some point. Was as part of that mission.
The horn of Spira had been hidden by his wife. So
Oh
we
yeah,
had
by
to go-
her.
So we had to go back to Treetop
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have Eldrick sweet talk the elders so that we could
Right.
speak to her spirit and try to find out where the horn is. Now, I think there
Okay,
was some
I
talk.
just misread my note. I realized what it meant.
Yeah.
No.
I think there was some talk about needing to speak with Earl, Eldrick's basically adoptive father, because he had a way to call back Lena's spirit, but I don't really have that written out in as much detail as I would like.
Yeah, that's the one bit I can't remember who it was exactly that could bring her spirit from her.
I'm
Battery
pretty
form.
sure I'm pretty sure it was Earl.
Hmm. Um, after getting that backstory dump, we needed a way to contact Grills, and we did find out that the whistle would work again, since a week had passed since we had last used it. So I think we were intending to send word to Grills to meet us in order to set things in motion for Spira. I think last we had decided was we were going to make our way back to Treetop since Eldrick needed a week. So we were actually going to rest in civilization versus woods with undead roaming.
Yep, sounds good to me.
I
What
cut
else we
out during the last like 15 seconds, so I can't. I kind of caught what you said, Rumble, but undead roaming was the gist of it.
Yeah. Go back to the city. Don't deal with
Oh.
dead people.
Okay.
Okay, I guess not city, town.
Mhm.
Village?
Town.
Technically a village, but more like a town.
Tree Town Village. Also, we were
That
going to
it?
seek out those paladins.
Oh, that's right. We did want to find
That's right.
the paladins and
That's
give
what
them
we
word.
ended on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if everybody is that it? Anybody have anything else?
I think that's
Uh,
pretty much it.
Follower had been eating people, so Pedalin has started training him.
Yes, and I have a little whistle to do so now that Egg carved for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a sweet cloak of billowing that
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh
makes
god,
us
I
look
forgot
menacing
about that.
and or comical.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, then in that case, it looks like we were ending last session on a rest of some sort, probably a short rest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We didn't have any sort of combat or anything because we just went and talked to Eldrick, and I think we stopped after we wrapped up that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but you had fought the members of the House of Scales.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, that was
That was like
we
the
had
day
a night
before.
rest after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, so
So we're
we've done a
literally
long
just
rest
standing
already.
at the temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we blown the whistle yet?
We have not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then let's I believe Eldrick had asked you guys to come back, or that he let you know he needed time.
Right.
right?
I think
said
he
about
needed a few
week.
days
Yeah.
just to rest and kind of heal up on his own.
Mm-hmm. I think what
Okay.
we were talking about doing was going to tell the paladins about the House of Scales people they were likely looking for, going to Treetop to rest ourselves and find out some more information, then come back and kind of do a plan of action, basically.
Sure. Okay, so standing at the shrine, let's just go ahead and say it was morning.
Okay.
Like let's say the morning after your encounter with the Scales members. You guys are now, waking up, getting ready to go. Eldrick's let you know that, he needs about a week to get his own affairs in order and to go and chat with the village elders, as it were. And so you guys have about a week to kill. What do you do?
Well, if we want to find the paladins first, we should probably go back to the farmstead and see if we can pick up their trail.
Sounds good to me.
Before they move on, I think that's
That would have
wise.
Right.
been 2 days ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our best bet, though.
Mhm.
Going through the pit since I was organizing,
Mhm.
we had the short sword of sharpness that we picked up from them that had their insignia on it.
Yes.
I don't really want to give away a good sword. We do also have a small dagger that had the emblem on it.
Well, we don't have to give them anything.
Right, but
we can just.
some proof and like show of good faith.
I think
You've got a
we
lot
have,
of
like,
House of Scales daggers.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we have like their cloaks and.
Would any of us
Um,
use the short sword of sharpness? Just like, I just want to know.
Nope.
No, but
Mhm.
you never know.
Sure.
Looking at the short sword of sharpness, is the insignia just like in the pommel?
Yes.
I
It's so
think
all of the weapons that are like marked by the House of Scales. There's like a red glass, like half dome on the end of the pommel, or like polished stone, and the insignia is in that.
Right.
Can I pop out the stone? Like
You
pry it
With what?
like a dagger and just try and pry it off.
You could certainly try, but they look rather well made.
Hmm.
A dagger might not be the right tool to pry something like that off.
We have 2 daggers with the House of Scales emblem on it. We could just give them one of those and keep the sword for ourselves.
I'm
Right, but
inclined
trying
to
to get
agree.
identifying markings off the sword
Yeah.
in
See,
the future so we don't encounter issues.
Oh, I see. So they
See,
don't
I'm
think that
thinking
we're with
the-
the House of Scales.
I'm thinking the other side, where if we want to try to infiltrate at some time the House of Scales, the sword of sharpness looks like it's probably from a higher up. Like, the daggers are whatever. We could probably find a dagger with the House of Scales, like, just in the forest. In fact, I think we did on, like, one of the
Found 2
bodies.
of them that
Yeah,
way.
exactly. So, like, but this sword, I think you're right that we should keep it intact for now. It might come in handy
Yeah.
as is.
Okay. All right, so farmstead then, and try and see if we can pick up horse tracks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys head to the farmstead. You arrive about an hour later. The forest itself is rather tranquil. What with the dampening effect of the snowfall, the receding effect of the blight, and just a general serenity that seems to have fallen over the place. When you do arrive and see that a fine blanket of snow has you guys left all the bodies where they were, didn't you?
Yes.
The farmstead
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that fine blanket of snow has covered the bodies, covered the houses, except for the shack, which was blown to pieces, and you can see that the snow has fallen through basically all the gaps, almost a solid foot on the ground at this point. It will take a skilled tracker to find 2-day-old horse tracks through fresh fallen snow.
Skilled tracker, you say? Well,
Yeah.
how is this for skill? Oh, that's actually kind of okay. I wasn't
Is
expecting
anybody
that.
else.
Oh, I thought you were saying that as a proficient in survival can roll.
I mean, anybody can stumble across tracks, but proficiency will help.
have to roll survival?
Yeah. That's so fitting.
Ooh. Hey, maybe it'll work. I'm proficient.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you are. You
Yeah.
are very
Supposed
You're
proficient.
supposed to be rolling those to me,
Oh,
not
yeah,
to
my bad.
not to
Oops.
everyone.
It's okay. It makes me feel better about my one.
All right. So at any point, through everybody's best effort, it is proving quite nearly an insurmountable task to find 2-day-old horse tracks through fresh fallen snow.
Fair.
However, through no sheer amount of experience having lived in forests herself, Petalin does manage to find a nice pile of fresh horse manure, which leads her to another footprint, which leads her to another footprint. And thankfully, the heavily armored paladins on their horses leave quite deep impressions. And so despite the fact that the ground has frozen over since, when they were here, the ground was not frozen, and so they did leave tracks.
I'm closer to the ground. It's easier for me to see.
Fair.
Clearly.
Yeah.
By your best
can-
estimation, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to clarify. Are we saying that this is the morning after we spoke to Eldrick, so we had another long rest?
This was
No,
This
because
is
I still
no.
have damage from the acid bottle or acid scroll.
Yeah, because you guys checked those the morning after, didn't you?
We checked those right
Oh, the
before going to talk
scroll.
to Eldrick.
Yeah.
So I'm just making
Then
sure I'm not
Let's say you guys talked to Eldrick in the morning then, because there shouldn't be another long rest in between those two things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, you guys fought them in the evening after fighting the unicorn. Eldrick eventually shows up later. Everybody's exhausted. You all take your long rest. And then talk to Eldrick and check out the scroll and all that jazz.
Cool.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I have a lot of shit to swap
Yeah.
after a long rest. So
Yeah.
While we're on that
no, so-
topic, I want to make a case for me taking the chain axe as a secondary weapon.
Have at it.
yeah, I don't think
Sure.
there are any
Cool.
complaints there.
Thank you.
Oh, did we pick up the quarter? We did pick up the quarterstaff from that. Crap. The
Caster? Susanna?
Yeah, she cut out.
Yeah, you're gone.
She vanished.
Yes, she did. Oh, there you are. Okay. So yeah, no long rest in between. This is the morning after the fight, but not the morning after you guys talked to Eldrick and read the scrolls and shit. Anyway, so Petalin does find the tracks. It looks like they are leading off maybe further south into the forest. They are at a rather meandering and plodding pace. So with Petalin's excellent tracking and survival skill, she likely believes that you could probably track them down. But depending on if they keep this pace, you're going to be a day or two behind them. Unless they've decided to set up camp somewhere.
so we can't
Do we want
necessarily
to-
catch up to them.
Do we want to try and fly over in the direction of the tracks and see if we can make them out against the snow?
I mean, if you want to do that just as a recon so we don't waste like a full week tracking them, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And you can tell us if it's worth pursuing or not.
You'll know the general direction that they're heading in, so you could even fly ahead in that way and see. See what's
so got an hour with the spell.
So you could take
I-
up to half an hour to fly ahead.
Right,
half
but
an
I
hour
could
back.
take you with me in case we do see them. Have a quick conversation, then just be on our way.
Okay, I can even take one of the daggers with me if you want. And just get it over with.
Sure.
I don't exactly have pockets as a bird.
Well, I
So-
do.
Well, you don't need pockets as a bird. Anything that you're carrying gets transformed with you.
I
Into
know, but then I would have to
feathers.
not be a bird. But then how
That's
do I
true.
get back?
Yeah, fair. Okay. Okay, so
All
you
right,
guys
I'll
are going to fly 30 minutes ahead. Is that right?
Just in the direction of the tracks
Yeah,
and keep
yeah.
a high altitude and see if we can maybe
Sure.
spot them in the distance.
Okay.
I'm taking one of the House of Scale daggers out of the pit.
Okay.
Ready, Freddy?
All right. So, Madame Beldam turns into a giant eagle, picks Pedalin up by the shoulders or whatever, and off they fly into the sunrise. Well, actually, I guess not because they're not going east, but still, they fly off. And about an hour later, the flapping of a large bird can be heard. So in the meantime, what do Noodles and Egg do for an hour?
Hour, okay.
Well, we're still walking along the trail, I think. Are we?
She was the one kind of that picked up the trail, so I would not
Yeah.
be walking without our tracker. No.
All right. That's fair.
Okay, so you guys stay put.
Yeah, I have a question for you
Yeah.
quickly, Wolf. Chain axe is just a hand axe with a chain on it, right?
No, I didn't really. I thought I gave you guys the stats for it, didn't I?
I don't
He
believe so.
did.
Did you?
No, he did. Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing I remember is that you can only attack with it at reach. I think.
Mhm. You're
Mhm.
well, if you attack and somebody is next to you, it's at disadvantage.
Gotcha.
But I don't see that sticky note. I may have lost it, and I don't think I have it written down in my OneNote. So I'll have to go back and review the VOD to get the exact on it because I
Well,
know I gave it to you guys. I just don't remember.
didn't Rumble
where it
just
is.
drop it into the chat?
No.
Oh,
He
that's a
said-
giant ape. Never mind. I just saw the
No, that's
bit
shiny.
there.
Okay.
So that'll be in the VOD.
hmm
Because I remember giving it to you guys. I don't know where I put it in my own notes. Okay.
No, all I have written is chain axe magic and silvered +1.
Yeah, that's all I have too.
Yeah, it's silvered. It's +1. I believe it was reach and 3d4, or was it 2d4? I don't remember. It's in the VOD.
Mhm.
And if I find it during the session, I'll let you know. But
Okay.
your best bet's probably going to be pulling the VOD real quick, or pulling it during the break.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys stay put for an hour doing anything?
I throw out a ration for follower.
Okay. He's going to gobble that up.
Oh, I forgot to ask before we flew away if his bonsai is looking
Yeah.
less shitty.
I'll check on the bonsai.
Sure. So again, how are you carrying that? Is it just like strapped to the top of your backpack?
Yes.
Okay. So, other than a light dusting of snow, it does appear to be perking up.
Okay.
So,
I'll spend time
no-
reading to it from
Okay.
the storybook.
Okay. As you begin reading to the bonsai,